Glad you're with us as Stadium Live presents Mountain West Football on Facebook. You're going to get to be a part of the conversation. You're going to get to talk to us. You're going to get to have an integral part in how this broadcast goes. It's completely interactive. We're going to count on your comments to drive a lot of the conversation today. It's one of the things that makes these broadcasts truly special, especially your ability to interact with our analysts. We're going to get to in a moment. As you see looking out there, seeing the cadets getting set to support the Falcons. This is truly one of the special places to watch college football in America, and on this holiday weekend, no greater place to start our college football season. We're so glad that you've decided to join us. We're going to have a ton of fun, and it is going to be dramatic. We are going to see two teams with completely different styles. Both like to run the football, but they are going to get after each other in Airforce with their triple option. We're going to have tons of fun learning about that kind of offensive scheme with two-time Super Bowl champion Max Starks. My name is Ari Wolf. You see the pageantry, you see what's going on at Falcon Stadium. And Max, I believe this is your first time here. It's pretty special to see this venue.
This is my first time at Colorado Springs at the Academy, and this has truly been an awesome sight. Right
and
now,
look at them run into their seats.
This is awesome. And the fact that there's actually stairwells connected
cool.
on the lower level that's built in that way. It's just dramatic. You know, we have the flyover coming. It's going to be AC-130 gunships, probably one of my favorite flighted vehicles, I guess you'd say, of all time. So a lot of awesome things here, a lot of tradition. And, of course, it goes beyond football when you're here at Air Force Academy. You know that these cadets have a higher calling, a higher purpose in defending our nation. And the fact that this is the place where they learn to get ready to be future leaders of our armed forces is tremendous.
Yeah, it's just a special place. And they're all getting set to support the Falcons and expecting a terrific crowd on hand, a noon kick on a beautiful day. We're looking forward to just getting the college football season started for us. We've been watching some other games around the country, but now we get to get at it, and it's our first time together in the booth. So we're looking forward to learning a lot from Max today as we're going to get deep into line play, which will be so critical in a game like this.
It's going to be paramount, especially when you're talking about Air Force, a team that runs the triple option. You don't see it in today's college football landscape outside of the Service Academy schools. So a lot of people probably haven't seen it since high school. So I'll try my best to make sure that I keep everybody aware of the style, the techniques, and what goes into the mindset of an offensive player when you're in a triple option offense, because it's high stress on the offensive line, as well as a lot of keys that the quarterback has to pay attention to, as well as those skill guys, fullback and running back involved.
I want to remind everyone to join the conversation, the hashtag SBVerseAF. We're expecting lots of comments and really a chance for everyone to get excited as here comes the flyover. The parachutists are coming first.
It's exciting to think that this is what they do. I mean, when you're asking for a flyover of an NFL game, it's like you have to call the Air Force to get that clearance. And it's called the Wings of Blue. So this is pretty special.
Good afternoon.
It is neat. I know you're pumped for the flyover. I know my first one here was during the 2009 season. I was here at San Diego State Air Force. My first flyover being here at Air Force. Something you don't forget.
Yeah. You don't forget that. And just think about just what it is to be in this environment, to see the sea of blue and white, to see those cadets filling that whole lower half across the way from us, and know that it's something special. This is one of those moments where you take your mind off your responsibilities, your duties, and you get to just enjoy sport and competition and friendly rivalry in a football game.
And we'll see some push-ups done as long as Air Force scores some points, which I'm sure they will with their potent triple option attack. But it is, guys come out and have the season start with this kind of weather and this kind of occasion. We pulled into the parking lot a few hours ago. I was amazed how many people were already tailgating, having fun. The whole setup is just spectacular.
Especially because, in my head, I had coming in here that it's a service academy, so it's going to be very regimented, serious. No, this is like any college football Saturday. Tailgate, grills going, beverages flowing, a lot of people walking around having fun before this contest, and a great sight. I mean, you look at Colorado Springs, the stadium, The backdrop is the foothills of the Rockies. Huge mountain range. I saw hot air balloons out here earlier, and really exciting. A great Saturday. A little bit of overcast, which is always nice, but no rain clouds. It's going to be a great environment for a good football contest.
And that's coming from a big-time offensive lineman. You want that cloud cover. No reason for you big guys to get overheated, right?
No, I'm a sweat enough during the contest, especially if we get a couple long, sustained drives. I'm going to get my cardio in today. I don't want to get active cardio while being inactive.
That seems fair. Yeah, as you can see, the colors are just spectacular, and most of the Mountain West venues from the press box, they're just spectacular views. And this was the first venue that I ever got a chance to join as part of the Mountain West, and it was special. Hello to everyone. Ari Wolf alongside Max Starks. We are going to be with you throughout, and Danny Kluppinger will be down on the field. Danny's going to have lots of great insights. She'll have incredible access, and she will be a big part of driving the conversation on Facebook. So we're looking forward to Danny joining our show. And there you see, that's something you wouldn't catch me doing.
No.
No chance.
No, and especially precision with that. I mean, you have to be precise, and you're depending on a lot of wind, trajectory, things to go right, and I'm not that great with that. I mean, look at that.
Look at this. How about that smooth landing, just in stride?
Just another day's work right there.
Yeah. It's like he was just on like a stroll. He literally just timed the landing perfectly.
Just hit a drop zone, no big deal.
Yep. There we go. There's another one. This is casual. That one's coming in a little hot. Oh, he pulls off the landing. I was a little concerned there. That was coming in fast.
I was going to buzz the tower, and now he was going by quick.
The way they just hit the brakes right there at the very last second.
It's spectacular. It's a skill set.
And as I told you, Danny is down on the field, and Danny is going to have incredible access to these programs being so cooperative during the week and allowing Danny to be down, have access to everybody. We got a chance to talk to everybody throughout the week. So Danny's going to have lots of great stuff down on the field, and we're looking forward to her contributions throughout today's show. And the other beautiful thing being on Facebook, everyone, is we don't go to commercial. So however 3+ hours, be with you the whole way. You'll have to time your own breaks because we won't be taking.
Yeah, so if you have to use a potty break, just keep it playing. You won't miss anything, I promise.
Ladies and gentlemen, to that first class.
Last paratrooper coming down.
Bringing the flag.
Right.
And here behind Cadet Photo, it's on the
Got to be quite a buzz to come in and have all the cadets cheering for you. It's sweet. There's the Falcon.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Falcon's just as smooth. I mean,
Yeah.
wouldn't expect anything less.
Airforce Academy. No place else you can get all this pageantry. Game even kicks off. That's the bird.
That's right. The bird has landed. It's getting close to kickoff time. Look, we had 6 paratroopers land perfectly. That's pretty amazing. And we still have a flyover.
Big time flyover. The AC 130. Spooky is the AC 130 we're going to have coming out of Pearl Field in Florida. All right, well, Danny not only is talented, but she went to Stoney Brook, so she's the right person to kick this game off, talking some Stoney Brook football. Danny?
Thanks, guys. Yes, that's right. I did go to Stoney Brook. I played basketball there. Very familiar with Coach Chuck Priori. They're coming through the tunnel here in just a second. I'm very excited to see where this program has come. They just entered the CAA when I was just about leaving Stoney Brook, and it's good to see how well they've been doing. They made it to the playoffs last year. Coach, I've got him right over here. Let's see if we can get his attention. He does know he's going to come join me. Obviously, they've got some energy about to run through this tunnel. But guys, they did play in the playoffs last year against JMU, which is the #1 team in the nation. Unfortunately, they lost that, but it is cool to see how much, success this program has had. And Coach Priori is coming over to join me now. Hey, Coach, I know that this is a very special environment, and you didn't want to think too much about this pregame. But what did you want to focus on in this game? What are some of these keys you're focusing on for this team to come out successful?
Great seeing you, first of all. You know, just to play our football game and try to keep the emotions out of the football game. We need to control the clock. We need to win first down. Play Stoney Brook football, which is physically punishing football.
Absolutely, because it's a triple option offense, so I know you're all about physicality. Is that what you're stressing, is being physical in the trenches to slow them down?
I hope so, and hopefully we can get them to cause some turnovers.
Awesome. Good luck, Coach.
Thank you.
Great to see Coach Priori, guys. Back up to you.
Thank you very much, Danny, and we're going to hear lots from Danny throughout the game today. She'll have lots of special features with us. And Danny, what are you most looking forward to down there in terms of driving the conversation on Facebook? Oh, we lost her. We'll shift gears. We'll come back to her in a little bit. All right, so let's talk about Stoney Brook, and let's talk about Joe Carbone, their senior quarterback. This is a guy last year, 23 touchdown passes, just 8 interceptions. They go 10-3. They make it into the FCS playoffs. Very capable at the quarterback position.
Yeah, Joey Carbone, when you're thinking about wanting leadership for a program, especially that has FCS aspirations of going deeper and possibly playing for a championship, has to start at the quarterback position. I can't think of anybody better in FCS than Joey Carbone. Very cool, calm, collected in the pocket. Even though this is a very run-heavy offense, he commands the play-action pass and knows the right opportunities to find the open receivers, and that's why they've had a lot of success over the years while he's been quarterbacking for them.
He's done a really solid job at quarterback, and for a team like Stoney Brook to try to come in and get a win at a place like Airforce, you have to really be careful with the football. I imagine ball security is going to be paramount for the Seawolves today.
Ball security is number one for this team. That's something that Coach Chuck Priory made sure he said, hey, ball security and getting those explosive plays. So a lot of stress is going to be put on this offensive line to be clean, open holes for the running backs, but also give Joey Carbone enough time to distribute the football, because when he has time, he's very lethal. And that all starts with keeping the ball in your possession. So you look at minimizing those mistakes and then also having explosive plays, looking at about 4 to 5 in this game, and they'll have a successful day.
For Airforce, they too have a senior quarterback in Arion Worthman. He is the primary ball carrier, averages almost 22 carries per game. But when he does throw the football, they go for chunk plays. He averages, this is a school record, over 21 yards per completion.
Arion Worthman was highly sought after coming out of high school. Navy thought they had him, and then Air Force came in late and got this young man. And you see why, because the production, the intelligence that he has at that position. It takes a lot of intelligence not only to pass the football, but when you're running a triple option, to know when to give off the ball and when to keep it, to watch those keys and stay disciplined. And Arion Worthman is one of the guys you want running that football. A senior here. He's been committed to the Air Force, and you can see it in his play. Very disciplined and very smart young man.
One of the keys is just that ball security and handling the ball. There is so many transactions with the ball. It's unlike anything else you'll ever seen. All right, let's go down to Danny.
Well, guys, you keep talking about what a special atmosphere it is today. On top of that, it is Parents Weekend, and I got a chance to tour around the campus a little bit yesterday and see the pride on these parents' faces as they walk around with their kids. It's tough being a student athlete by yourself. Now, on top of all of that, you've got study hall and a normal schedule of a student athlete, and then you're also got that added pressure of flying a plane when you're graduating at 22 years old. These guys are going to be strategizing and all of that type of stuff, life and death scenarios. It's an added pressure and that much more discipline on these student athletes. Guys, I'm going to go up to you because I think there's a pretty cool flyover about to happen.
All right, thanks, Danny. Flyover always highly anticipated. And you see they've just completed the coin toss. Stoney Brook will start out with the football.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you direct your attention to the south, you will see an AC-130 uniform gunship from the 4th Special Operations Squadron, Colbert Field, Florida. On board today's flyover are 12 aircrew members, including 2 Utah graduates from the classes of 2009 and 2014. Collectively, these aircrew members have accumulated 13,345 pounds.
Yes, we did, and it was Sully, Chesney Sullivan, obviously famously landed the airplane in the Hudson.
All right, here's the flyover we've been waiting for. It's your moment, big fella.
That's something special right there. Because here,
Today's official time and temperature is brought to you by Hamilton, the official watch of Falcon Athletics. Come see our collections at the Visitor Center.
He might go all the way with this one. Indeed, he does. How did he make that grab? For the end zone touchdown. Right down the seam, and there's that combination. Touchdown. Can you believe what you just saw?
Man, I'll tell you, this is a night to remember.
All right, welcome to Mountain West Football. Stadium Live presents on Facebook, and the opening kick at this altitude. No problem getting that through the end zone. And Felici kicks things off. Joey Carbone comes in, get things started for the Seawolves. Last year completed 56% of his passes. Carbone, 2,470 yards, and as I mentioned a moment ago, 23 touchdown passes to just 8 interceptions. There we go. 1st and 10 from the 25. Donald Leontine in the backfield. Little guy, just 5'9", 215 pounds. Got to stop it to play. Play a game. First game jitters, sometimes things aren't perfect right out of the gate.
They're not perfect, and this happened last week. Hawaii, Colorado State, first play. Hawaii did the same thing. So you love that for the crowd, but you want to see more cleanness out of your offense, especially when you have a pre-designed play.
Leontine, and he's brought down after the game 3 yards by Kyle Floyd. Take a look at the lineups. Cal Daniels is someone to keep an eye on, and another guy that we talked a lot about this week, Marshall Ellick, the transfer from Temple. They think he can be a big play contributor to this offense.
Yeah, Coach Felis and Coach Priory had a lot of great things to say about Ellick since he's came over to Stoney.
Second down, a little screen pass. Leontine. 30-yard line. Leontine last year didn't do a lot in the passing game, only 5 catches. Pendulum came in from his safety position to make the tackle. An Air Force team that really struggled defensively last year, giving up more than 32 points per game. Looking to get an early stop. 3rd and 6. The throw is there, but the catch is not made by Nick Anderson.
And Anderson had the inside edge, running, a nice in route, and had his hands on it, just couldn't come away with it. Great job by the defense to be right on top of it, but a missed opportunity there to move the chains for Stony Brook.
Mark Nolan will come on to kick. Ronald Cleveland is back for the Falcons. Nolan last year averaged 37.7 yards per punt. Gonna like kicking in the altitude. Nice high kick. And Cleveland gets buried at the 27-yard line. No place to go. So we'll get our first look at the Air Force offense, led by their senior quarterback, Arion Worthman. Worthman last year led the team in rushing touchdowns with 13. You see in the passing game had 10 touchdown passes. Look, he only had 109 attempts. He played in 11 games. They do not throw the ball very much, but when they do, they usually take big shots.
And this is the first thing you're going to see. Notice that there are 3 backs in that flex bone position.
And Worthman this time keeps it and gets across the 30-yard line. Sam Camara in to make the tackle. Let's take a look at the Air Force offense. An offense last year that averaged over 31 points per game. Lineup after this play. We've got some movement up front. Flag does eventually come in.
Both sides pointing at each other about a flinch. We'll see what happens.
Offside. Number 99. Defense. Jumped into the neutral zone. Causing the offensive player to react. 5-yard penalty. Second down.
That was Jordan Scarborough jumping offsides, the junior from Pittsburgh, PA. Woodland Hills High School. High School in Pittsburgh.
Second and short. They pitch it out, and then it'll be taken down for a loss.
Joseph Saucier, ball carrier for the Falcons. Brought down by Sincere.
There's a look at the lineup. Saucier, the new tailback. Parker Wilson, the fullback. Third and short. Simple dive play. And it's enough to pick up the first down. Parker Wilson, the ball carrier. Wilson missed the last 5 games a year ago due to injury. Here's a look to see what defensively, and I know Kamara's the guy you have your eyes on. And McGinty and Lawless, the strength of the defense at linebacker, as Air Force goes quickly.
Wrapped up almost.
Ronald Cleveland, the ball carrier.
He's brought down by E.J. Finneran.
So even though Ronald Cleveland is slated as a wide receivers can get the football a lot more on rushing attempts versus the pass.
Yeah, last year Cleveland had 11 catches, but he had 44 carries. And Worthman wants to throw it, has time, checks it down, and it's knocked away. Finneran in coverage.
Worthman's pass intended for Cleveland is broken up by E.J. Finneran. 3rd and 4.
Worthman just lets it sail a little bit, but you know, more important, Finneran got a finger on it, but Sincere Malone would have had that interception.
From the shotgun. Ben gonna tuck it and run. Get the first down and more. He's into Stoney Brook territory, down at the 43-yard line. Finneran comes in to make the tackle.
And if you're a running quarterback, this is something that your eyes light up. You just had a little bit of an issue passing the ball. Look at the hole. You got a lead blocker out there, Cole Fagan, it looks like. Parker Wilson was out there. And why not run it? That's what I'm going to do majority of the time.
First and 10 for the Falcons. Toss it out wide, lots of room. They get inside the 15-yard line. Go Saucier. Tressa with the stop. Saucier didn't get any run last year, now a junior. 31 yards on the carry.
And this is something, if you are a defensive lineman and you're playing that in position, John Haggart, you can't run up the field. More often than not, if you're not being blocked, you have to start going wide. They're sending Saucier in motion early so that he gets a lead on that. So that's one of the things that makes it so tough for a defensive lineman is I have to be disciplined. If I don't feel a hand on me, I need to start getting wide because that is where the toss comes. They're reading the pitch point is off of that in man on the line of scrimmage.
Right now, Air Force has Stoney Brook on their heels. And if you haven't seen the triple option since high school, it takes a minute to get adjusted.
It is. It's a lot of moving parts, a lot of transactions, like you said, with the ball.
Worthman, quarterback keeper, he's in for 6. Touchdown, Air Force.
And we will let the push-ups commence. Air Force strikes early. And, you know, one of the things, this is what you can get used to seeing. A lot of run game, not a lot of passing, but very efficient. The offensive line did a great job of what we call swinging to the right, getting the blocking angles, and just opened it up for Worthman to run into the end zone. Really unabated.
Extra point. Felici, it is up and it is good. So how about this, Max, as a start? 9 plays, 75 yards. They take 3 points off the clock.
That's very efficient football right there. And, you had the one midfield negative play, but other than that, and then an incompletion, but other than that, very efficient. They got good yardage on those plays. So you take 2 of those away, they're averaging 10 yards a play at that point because, 2 of those plays, incompletions and lost yardage. So a great job here, and they're in the end zone giving us the push-ups.
The push-ups. All right, let's check in with Danny.
Hey guys, yes, just a reminder, like you keep saying, join in the conversation on Facebook. I've got my phone out down here reading all of your comments using the hashtag SB versus AF. Now I want to pose a little trivia question to you. Air Force has actually won 12 of their last 14 home openers. Can you tell me who they lost to and what years they lost to them? And guys, also with that, I want to talk a little bit to you, Max, about the offensive line, because as you just saw, that's really the secret to a great run game is the offensive line. And Coach Calhoun talked a lot about how he wanted to see the offensive linemen in a game, that they took the most amount. They took 200 live snaps in this offseason, which is pretty unheard of. He really wanted to work them out and see what they could do in a game situation, and he's got to be pretty happy with what he just saw, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah, and when you think about that, this group had not a lot of experience. So the most that you can get them, we call it sharpening the sword, because you got to put a stone against that. So the stone for us is live action plays, even though when it's non-contact, it's still contact for an offensive lineman. And so to get them out here live action and to see them doing it when it matters was a great sign, because it gets physical. You have to cut almost every single play in a triple option. So how do your linemen respond to getting on the ground and then getting back up play after play, having bodies fall on you? So a great start, and I'm sure Troy Calhoun is really pleased with his offensive line play.
The longest tenured head coach in the Mountain West. And not only did he go to school here and graduate here, but most of his staff. So they really understand the tradition and really the complexity of being a football player at Air Force. Unlike, except for the other service academies, there's really no place like it in college football.
Yeah, you can't mimic it. I mean, last night I was reading through the academic requirements alone to gain acceptance into Air Force Academy and what their responsibilities are as a cadet on campus. And so you have to be not only mentally one of the best, but physically in top shape, because you're doing morning PT and basic training as well as coming out and practicing football.
It's amazing what they can get done in a single day. Another strong kickoff. That would be, we see many kick returners maybe on squib kicks, because at this altitude, the ball flies pretty good.
Yeah, you're plus 5,000 feet, so the ball will hang forever.
I enjoyed that a little bit yesterday. I got out on the Air Force Eisenhower Golf Course. And I live out in Southern California. We're close to sea level, and it took me a little while to see that, get used to the ball flying a little further.
You got excited? You're like, wait a second, my handicap's going to drop.
Yeah. Good fun. All right, second drive for the Seawolves from their own 25. Bone hands it off. A gain of a yard as Jordan Jackson comes in there to bring down Jordan Gowans. Gowans gives him a nice look. He's a transfer from BC. Last year ran at 4.5 yards per carry, 6 touchdowns. First drive for the Seawolves, they went without a first down. They did pick up 9 yards on their opening drive. Carbone, and that is picked off. Kyle Johnson has it for the Falcons, and he'll take it for 6. Touchdown, Air Force.
And what a great job by this defense. And, of course, Kyle Johnson picking it out of the sky, and then a return, and you have 2 quick scores. So now, if you're Stoney Brook, you're reeling a little bit, because Air Force has just hung 2 touchdowns on you. It's a 14-point difference in the span of about a minute and about 3 seconds. And great job by great job by Johnson to pick off Carbone. And wow, what a great start.
32 yards on the return. Felici gets the extra point.
Kick is good, but there is a penalty marker on the play.
Offside, number 11, defense, and penalties declined. Extra point is good.
For Air Force, what a start. By the way, I didn't get a chance to ask you, how do you like the new uniform?
I love these new uniforms, the gray. I was expecting blue. Expecting the blue and white, the traditional Air Force uniform, but I like this alternate gray. It has a really cool look to it. And, as we saw there, Kyle Johnson sporting the chain, kind of like the U.
Yeah.
With a big play. And, you look at him right there on the field, excited. But let's look at what led to that Top Gun shades and great play. Kyle Johnson filling. They're playing soft zone coverage. He sets off in the zone, sees the in route, and is just in the right place at the right time, and nobody there to react until he gets to the end zone.
Now, Will out there on Facebook, he's not sure he digs the new uniforms, but he says they look great when they cross the goal line. So apparently he's performance-driven. That's what he's looking for. Let's go down to the field. Danny, what's up?
Okay, guys, obviously Air Force off to a great start. And that trivia question I said to you guys using Facebook right now, remember to comment all game long using the hashtag SB versus AF. The trivia question was that Air Force has won their last 12 of 14 home openers. Who did they lose to and what years did they lose to? Now, here's the answers for you. Number 11 ranked Tennessee came in here in 2006. They lost to them, and then they lost to another ranked team, California, in 2004. California was ranked 13th at the time. So congratulations to all those trivia winners out there that know their Air Force trivia really well. It's looking like Air Force is off to a hot start. We might do it again.
Thank you, Danny. Yeah, right now it sure doesn't look like we're going to have to worry about losing a home opener based on the first. We're not even 5.5 minutes deep into this one. It's already 14-0. So if you're Stoney Brook, I'll let you play coach, Max. What do you kind of got to do to get everyone settled down?
I think they need to see some consistency. This offensive line is a big bruising group, so they need to establish the line of scrimmage, move it back about 3 yards every snap, and get the run game going because, Coach Priory knows, and when Stoney Brook is cooking is when they have a good balance of run to pass, and they need that run to set up their play-action pass, which works so well because right now they're not getting enough time on the passing routes. As you can see, Kyle Johnson sitting right there, but Joey Carbone had to get the ball out a lot quicker because he was starting to feel pressure.
Felici may have a tired right leg by the time we get to halftime. This is already his third kickoff. Leontine and Washington are deep. Third consecutive time. We'll kick it out the backside of the end zone. Well, you mentioned the balance offensively for Stoney Brook. The numbers last year were great. Passing the football 181 yards, that's not a staggering number. But when you balance that with 149 rush yards, you've got a really balanced attack.
Yeah, there's not a lot of difference, and I think that's where they need to be successful. I don't think they can get into a throwing contest at Air Force. So I think they need to make sure the ground game solid and get this line of scrimmage established.
And not much doing there on the ground. They've gone with running plays on first down, and it just has not been. The interior of the defense has been solid so far. As Leontine can't pick up much there, but for Air Force, Max, defensively coming off of last year, they only had 10 takeaways last year. So getting the early takeaway and adding a touchdown with it, critical to building up that success of the Air Force defense.
And that's something Coach Calhoun talked about, is that they weren't getting enough pressure. Felt would lead to the takeaways, but right now they're reestablishing the line of scrimmage against Stoney.
They stick with the run this time. They know where to go. Kyle Johnson, who had that pick six, comes in from his linebacker position to make the tackle. And they're going quickly. And the other thing they're not doing is they're not taking much time off the clock. They're going to have to be aware of that. They don't want their defense to be out there too much.
Especially at this altitude.
Yeah.
And it's almost like a 2-for-1. You're playing 2 plays for every 1 play.
Carbone, the throw, it's complete. Not enough for the first down, though. They get to the 34-yard line as Donovan Washington with the catch. Coppola came up from his safety position.
4th down.
A senior who went through a lot last year. Broke his collarbone. Out. His brother had a very serious head injury. Danny's going to talk more about that later in the game, but Coppola went through a lot. Great to see him back out there having rejoined the team. Ron Cleveland is deep. Nolan to punt it. And the fair catch is made at the 32-yard line.
First down.
That's where Air Force will start their next offensive possession. Put out of the field and talk to Danny.
Graduates proudly honors our academy's history with the Heritage
Hi guys,
Trail.
sorry about that.
No
We're
worries.
running around with the microphone. Are you guys there? Okay, now I've got a poll question I want to talk to you about because in 2016, the U.S. Defense Department said that it was actually all right for U.S. Academy service athletes to go straight to their professional sports careers right after graduating instead of doing active service. They would do that after their professional careers. Now, a guy that's very familiar around here at Air Force, Jalen Robinette, he was the only NFL prospect from any of the service academies last year, and they actually rescinded that policy, and he didn't find out until an hour into the 2017 NFL draft. So I'm curious, Max, I want your opinion, Ari, I want your opinion, also I want everyone's opinion on Facebook. Do you think that they should be able, that these service academy athletes should be able to pursue their professional sports career prior to doing active service, or should they not? Because right now, Robinette cannot apply to play in the NFL until 2019 after he does at least 2 years of active service.
What do you think, Max?
Well, I think when you're talking about what the service academies are and what you're doing is you have to expect that they're going to have a responsibility to go serve their mandatory 2 years, and so I think they should be able to do that. But more importantly, I think it's, you got to honor your service first, and if you have an opportunity, hopefully the professional teams will learn that, and that they will actually make some exceptions to them. Still draft them, but then just kind of keep them off of a commissioner's exemption list for 2 years until they've served their duty.
Well, I'm going to throw one other opinion in here. I think it's there can be unique situations in this, Danny, because a guy like Jalen Robinette, who, if he were allowed to go to the NFL and have success, that is actually wonderful billboard to any potential future guys who want to play football at Air Force, who have dreams of both serving their country and playing professional football.
I agree, but so the funny thing is, I actually played against a guy. He's actually a major now. Bryce Fisher played for the Seattle Seahawks. We played against each other in Super Bowl 40, and he served his duty and still came in and was a starting defensive end for a very good football team, and we served time together on the USO. And he talked about his time and how, it was a responsibility. When you sign up for an academy, that's what you're doing first, and then your personal experiences or your personal exploits come secondary to that.
I can tell you most of the comments on Facebook agree that service comes first.
Yeah.
Second offensive drive of the game here for Air Force. Their first one was 9 plays, 75 yards, capped off by Worthman's 7-yard touchdown run.
False start. Number 61. Offense. 5-yard penalty. Still first down.
First penalty of the day on the Falcons. When you step away from me, I feel like I lose my personal protector. I feel like, if somebody came at me, I didn't have you right there.
So you have that quarterback feel.
I want to know that you're there.
Yeah.
You're protecting my blind side. Not familiar, Max. 2-time Super Bowl champion at left tackle for the Pittsburgh Steelers. He knows what it's like to play in the biggest stage.
Second and 12.
Second and 12, good play there by one of those outstanding senior linebackers. That time it was Noah McGinty. And again, a nice play is Cleveland, the ball carrier. And this time it's the other great interior linebacker, Shane Lawless, who comes in to make the play.
And for Stoney to be successful, this is what they're going to need to do. They have to have levels and layers pursuing the football, because you have 3 options every single time the ball snaps. That one was pre-designed as a toss play, but you need the layers. You have to have somebody come first, second wave come over the top just in case the guy decides to keep the ball, and you have to have the sideline defender.
Worthman wants to throw, has time. Particularly accurate throw.
Worthman's pass intended for Marcus Bennett is incomplete.
Marcus Bennett, the intended target, but it's 3 and out.
With the coverage
Falcons punt. Charlie Scott into punt. A little better than 42 yards of punt a year ago.
Washington is the returning man for the Seawolves.
Donovan Washington back deep for the Seawolves. Yeah, remember, we're at a high altitude here, so we can get a boomer going. Fun place to kick. You can hold on to the football. Big trouble here for Air Force. Scott couldn't handle it, buffs it, and the Seawolves will take over deep in Air Force territory.
And now we have one turnover from both sides. Air Force, you saw, had the return for a touchdown, and now the muff punt, and the Seawolves are going to be inside the red zone against the Falcons. And this is a great moment for them. This is what we call those explosive plays, those game-changing type of plays. See it right here, just sails a little bit left, and that team was ready. They were in a punt block formation, so you see the swarm of Wolves getting to him, and great starting field position. Let's see if the Seawolves can take advantage.
Gowans is in at tailback, and he's got the football and no place to go.
Jordan Gowans, the ball carrier.
And if you're going to run the dive play, you must have movement by your interior line. I was looking right there, and it wasn't, I didn't see a lot from Joe DeTore and Mason Zimmerman, center and left guard for the Seawolves. Kind of got stonewalled at the line of scrimmage by Fafita, number 99.
Well, this is an offensive line that's making an adjustment. They lost 3 starters from a year ago. Haven't really gotten it going just yet. Carbone the throw, and it's a little bit out in front of his intended target, Nick Anderson.
And Nick Anderson got out that break with that contact. He kind of took his eyes off the target, so he didn't even know to put his hands up. Normally, you would think that would be an interference call because the hand is touching the receiver as they make contact in and out of the breaks, but nothing was called there.
3rd down. Carbone, the throw, and that's incomplete. He was looking for Marshall Ellick, but there was a flag down. There was contact. Looks like it's going to go against Air Force.
Yeah, pass interference, and it was right in front of the ref. So there's no confusion about that call. You can't contact the head.
Pass interference. Number 5, defense. Ball will be placed at the spot of the foul. Automatic first down.
Dalen Sutton, contact as soon as Ellick tried to turn around to ID the ball. You can't have your hands on the guy, and Dalen Sutton is a senior. He knows better than that, so careless mistake, especially this close to the end zone.
1st and goal for the Seawolves. Leotine's in there, and Leotine pushes the pile, and he gets to the 2-yard line.
The ball carrier.
And great movement by right tackle and right guard Vasquez and Infantino to really open that hole up for Leotine. Leotine had a full head of steam, about 5 yards running start.
2nd and goal, Leotine. He is stuffed at the line of scrimmage, maybe a loss of a yard.
Leotine again, the ball carrier.
Jordan Jackson, sophomore from Jacksonville, Florida, number 94. There he is.
And this was something that, as you look, you try and seal the edge. Left tackle Jonathan Haynes could not keep the edge secured, and that's what you want to do, especially when you're coming off tackle backside, where the motion's going right there, and he's trying to cut back to the left. That left tackle is really important to seal off the edge, give him a hole.
The throw, too much on it, or they had the touchdown. Washington had beat his man. That far pylon in the corner of the end zone, it was there.
It was there, but here's the thing that I think that's making it tough for Stony Brook to adjust, because they've had some great passing opportunities. Carbone has to get used to, like you said, the ball sailing a little bit more. So he's going to have to adjust his launch points if he wants to have connections with with his receivers. He's going to have to change it, drop his drop angle a little bit more to get those completions.
Nick Courtney on for a 21-yard field goal attempt. It's a fake, and too much on the throw. And they got the ball inside the Air Force red zone. They come away with 0 points. A missed opportunity.
It's
the punter here who's also the holder. It's Nolan. And you think, again, that's maybe a little bit being at the elevation, how that ball sailed on him as well?
That, and also the kicker kind of gave it away that he wasn't kicking it by taking that little 2-step stutter. And he never really adjusted himself. He didn't back up. He kind of stayed forward and waited for the snap and then went forward to block. So it kind of gave away what the Seawolves were trying to do with that fake field goal attempt.
Priori, they had a real good chance there. Air Force offense 3 and out on their last possession. They got to be careful down here. And Worthman gets hit hard at the line of scrimmage.
Worthman, the ball carrier.
Kamara, 75.
Hit first by T.J. Morrison.
And T.J. Morrison coming up from his corner position.
Second and 10 for Air Force.
The backside pursuit that really made the difference, and T.J. Morrison just hawked him down, and then Kamara just finished him off over the top.
Worthman so far, 4 carries, 24 yards, and a touchdown. Pitches it. There's a flag down on the play. And not much running room. Tressa
Joseph Saucier, the ball carrier. He's
able to bring down Saucier.
Tressa. Penalty flag on the play.
And this is, you know, the Seawolves are now starting to, you see them get real comfortable with their defensive assignments.
Joshua out on Facebook thought that was a real good hit on the prior play by 75, Kamara. They really like Kamara a lot. Talked about
Personal foul.
having a strong
Shot
football
block.
IQ.
Number 79 and number 66 of the offense. That penalty is declined. Third down.
I know that's something you're sensitive to. I want to see offensive linemen picking up penalties.
And in that situation, it's going to be tough because this Air Force offense cuts a lot, and they take steep angles whichever direction they're running the football. So if you can't have 2 adjacent linemen, one touching and the other guy chopping. You have to get your hands off of them and allow the backside guy to come in for the chop, not the chop block.
Worthman with time. The throw was on target, but the catch couldn't be made by Sanders.
Worthman's pass intended for Gerard Sanders.
Sanders, the guy that really had a great offseason. They're really excited.
And Sanders had a great opportunity playing off in a cover 2. Sanders comes up and just mistimes the jump for the catch more so than anything because Worthman put it in a place where that receiver could go up and make the play.
Charlie Scott to punt. I remember the last time he buffed, and it turned into a great opportunity with the Bird. I've got a feeling he's going to secure the football first and foremost, gets it out quickly. It's Washington from his own 48. Donovan Washington breaks the tackle, cuts it back. Washington inside the 20 and brought down at the 14-yard line. Big time return there for Donovan Washington.
And Donovan Washington is just so elusive. An experienced punt return guy, comes in as a senior out of California and just has a great speed motor, barely gets by the defender, but then the lanes open up. I mean, when you look at the blocking by the Seawolves, seemed to create a wall return for him, and he took full advantage.
45-yard kick, 37-yard return, so only 8 net yards on it, and a broken play there. And Seawolves lucky to still have the football.
Yeah, very tough, and you lose major yardage. You were inside the red zone, and hope this is going. Carbone, it's like it bounced off of his knee. He caught it a little bit to the left, and looked like it hit his knee and ricocheted to the right. But great heads-up play to get on top of that football. So possession.
They lose 14 yards on the play. Carbone. Guy makes the tackle, but no place to go.
Carbone completes the pass to Ellick.
Ellick makes the catch. The way the ball was thrown, he put a little air under it, and he really exposed his receiver.
He did. I think Carbone's trying to still get adjusted to this system, so he's wide open. He's running a nice under drag, and he sent it up there for him. He didn't have to hop too much, which is good. He didn't expose the rib cage, but still a little bit slower, where if he could catch that on time, that could have been a bigger play.
3rd and 21. Carbone's in trouble. He'll go down. Wills comes in to make the play.
4th down for the
First sack of the game.
And Dakota Wills coming in with a bull rush, and it was just right down the throat, and Carbone tried to step up in the pocket when he felt that pressure, but Lakota Wills disengages and makes a great sack. And once again, coming into the red zone and coming up empty. You miss the play, bumps you out of the red zone, so there's still going to be potential points, but missed opportunity twice by Stoney.
45-yard attempt. That kick is no good. Never really had a chance. Didn't get good piece of the football there. So 2 trips into the red zone, 0 points for Stoney Brook.
And Coach Priory is giving his right tackle, Chris Infantino, an earful. Priory is an offensive line guy. He's the offensive line coach. He's very passionate about his offensive line, had great things to say about them in our conference call on Wednesday. And so when you see something like that where your right tackle is getting bull rushed back into the quarterback and giving up a sack, gets a little bit of those emotions fired up.
2 consecutive 3-and-outs for Airforce. On the football a little longer on this possession. Worthman looks over to the sideline. Worthman 9-6 as a starter for the Falcons. Tosses it. And a gain of 3. Big hit coming up there from Gavin Heslop. They're really high on. And McGinty also in on the play. Ronald Cleveland, you see the ball carry, he's fine. Bounces right back up after a gain of 3.
And McGinty's playing more of a Mike position, a middle linebacker position. They normally run a 4-2 nickel, but if you look at this, based off of running the triple option, this is forcing them to play more of a 4-3 or 7-man box with that rover coming down and playing in the box, giving them a look.
Fullback dive. Gilzine with the tackle. Parker Wilson, ball carrier. And most fullbacks in America, Max, don't get to carry the football. In this offense, you do.
Yeah, you are considered another running back.
Yep.
It's just your positioning. The fullback's actually playing the traditional running back position in this triple option.
3rd down. Worthman pitches it. 1st down, Falcons and more. Really nice pitch to Saucier. He makes the right read.
And Worthman did a great job. And this is something that's a very technical nuance is you must read that defensive end and get him to commit before you pitch the football. And nobody was there like we talked, we need a sideline defender that's going to play on the line, and there was no sideline defender there. That's why they were able to get the 1st down.
12-yard gain. Now this time it's Worthman. Worthman into Seawolves territory to the 48-yard line. And that's the end of quarter number 1.
That is the end of the first quarter. USAA knows the military men.
Hey guys, I want to talk to you a little bit about Stoney Brook quarterback Joe Carbone because he's not your average millennial. Get this, he doesn't even own a cell phone. The guy got a cell phone from his parents when he was younger. He lost it, and they told him if he wants another one, he can buy it himself. So he said, you know what, I'm not going to buy another one. The way people get in touch with him is via email on team-issued iPads. Apparently, he's very efficient on getting back to people via email, but he does not have a cell phone. And then also on top of that, I got to talk to a couple people that know him pretty well. He's very into holistic healing and naturopathic medicine. He's an avid surfer. His coaches even say that he's a very even-keeled kind of guy. And then another thing about him, which I found very interesting, he's actually the first person to jump at any opportunity to go help out at the Stoney Brook Children's Hospital. There's a hospital attached to Stoney Brook University, and I'll talk about that in a little bit. But he's one of the first people to volunteer to go over there. And so a very interesting guy, very good, genuine leader for this team. But guys, I don't know what I would do without my cell phone. I got my cell phone right here checking Facebook comments as you guys stream in. Imagine if I didn't have one.
I kind of like it. I like it. He's kind of a renaissance man.
He is throwback all the way. But here's the thing. He's a surfer and a naturopath from Connecticut. I would picture that being more West Coast, California, Arizona, New Mexico. But he's from Connecticut and has that. Look at that.
I mean, he looks like he could be going to surf right now in California right now. Just take the uniform off and just hit the beach.
He has board shorts under his football pants.
He's ready right after the game. All right, here we go. Opening play, 2nd quarter. Falcons lead 14-0. They looked terrific at the start of the 1st quarter. Then the offense was a little sluggish. They could pick it up. Worthman, wide open target, has the football, and a big play for this offense. Galden able to make the tackle on Marcus Bennett.
Bennett got a great angle. We're going to watch here. He gives a good fake, gets the inside angle, stops on the ball, and Galden just kind of sails a little bit, running, trying to track him.
First completion, 25 yards. If you weren't with us at the beginning of the show, I told everyone Arion Worthman has a school record per completion, 21.3 yards in his career. That's what they do. They don't complete it very often when it's successful. Chunk plays.
It's an explosive play, and that's what we talk. The difference in football games come down to those explosive plays. Who can generate the bigger chunk plays throughout a contest? And right now, it's all on Air Force's side, and that's why you see the score that you do.
Little trickery here, and the Seawolves are not fooled. And Bennett gets thrown for a huge loss. Check that. I believe that's Cleveland was the ball carrier. But DeMarcus Miller, backup linebacker, comes up there and makes a really big play for the Seawolves defense. 10-yard loss.
And what I like, this is the end around play. DeMarcus Miller does a great job. He doesn't fall for the fact that the ball went out to the left-hand side, and he had responsibilities. He's playing more of a rover kind of nickel position in this defense, so he reads that wide receiver motion in the opposite direction and just plays downhill, and that's how you get success off of those end arounds is penetration.
Worthman's going to keep it. By the way, I saw on Facebook someone requested if we could replay the flyover at halftime. Our outstanding producer, Kevin Shank, and our entire crew, Kevin. You can make that happen. You make somebody out on Facebook happy. They can see the flyover again when we're at the half. We can do that, I was just told. It's like magic.
Exactly. We want to see Spooky grace the field one last time. That was awesome.
47-yard attempt here. Felici. Last year he had a long of 43. The field goal is good, 48 yards officially. Felici able to connect.
Offside. Number 11, defense. That penalty is declined. Field goal is good.
All right, field goal is good, and let's go downstairs to Danny.
All right, I'm actually going to go right back up to you guys in a second because, Max, if your resume wasn't impressive enough with a two-time Super Bowl champion tag next to your name, on top of that, you went on a USO tour with the NFL, and I'm hearing you've got some pictures of it, so why don't you tell us a little bit about that tour?
Well, back in 2006, after we won our first Super Bowl 40 against the Seahawks, I was blessed with the opportunity to go on the 40th anniversary USO tour, and I had opportunity to tour with actually an Air Force Academy grad. If you look to the left, that's Bryce Fisher, who was a captain at the time when this picture was taken, but now he's a major, and Patrick Kearney's the other guy. So this was our ride into Afghanistan out of Kyrgyzstan, and of course when we're on Bagram Airfield, you can't help but want to take an opportunity to take a picture with the men and women, and we had Air Force servicemen and women. We were in front of an A-10 Warthog. They were a great escort the entire time we were there. So we spent 14 days overseas visiting the different bases and forward operating bases that our men and women were serving.
What type of respect did you gain for the people at Air Force? You know, being able to walk around with your friend, like you said, I'm sure you heard a lot about what Air Force was like for him.
I already had a lot of pride. My family has served in most of the military branches since World War I, so I had a tremendous respect for our servicemen and women. But going over there and being in those different theaters and participating and interacting with our servicemen and women abroad was a tremendous experience, a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. I was grateful for the opportunity to see things from a different perspective as a civilian. It meant a lot. You know, hanging out in the barracks, going to the mess hall with everybody, going out to the forward operating bases, the various ones throughout Afghanistan. Like I said, we went to Kyrgyzstan, and we also spent time in Kosovo at a joint forces base. And it was just amazing. And you don't realize the impact that football has on them and how much this means to them. So having Facebook here, being able to broadcast these games, over Facebook and everybody connected worldwide can now watch these games, it means a lot because they huddle around, they watch these games, they cheer for their teams, and it means a whole heck of a lot to them.
If you guys are Absolutely. If you guys are watching from somewhere overseas, please let us know in the comments. We want to know. Max wants to know. Ari wants to know. I want to know. We want to give you a shout out because it's pretty special to know that you guys are watching us. Just like he said, Facebook gives you an opportunity to stay connected worldwide, and that's something we want to know about. So very cool. Thanks for sharing your story, Max. I appreciate it.
Donald Leontine on the return, and Leontine out to the 29-yard line. All right, well, we were asked if we could see the flyover again, and here we go. We're not even going to wait till halftime. All right, here's the flyover we've been waiting for. It's your moment, big fella.
That is something special right there. Because here.
Today's official time and temperature is brought
Very nice. So, see, the thing here is just make requests and we can fulfill them. That's the beauty of the interactive experience with Facebook, helping us out, getting this game distributed all over the globe. Leontine, real nice job there to turn a nothing play into a gain of a few yards.
Second and third effort for Leontine. This Air Force defense, Coach Calhoun issued pretty much not necessarily a decree. They don't have a defensive coordinator, so he's in charge, and he wanted to see more pressure and the defensive line establishing the line of scrimmage. And they've done a great job thus far with a team that likes to run downhill and is physical.
Completion is there, and Ellick makes the catch. Transfer from Temple. Robert Bullard there to make the tackle. Very close to a first down.
Tackles made by Robert Bullard.
Holding, number 79. Offense, 10-yard penalty from the previous spot. Still second down.
Infantino, the right tackle.
Chris Infantino is having a tough day. As you see, he sets, gets the chop, but then right there as an offensive lineman, once the hand goes on the back and you get to that takedown position, the referee standing behind the line of scrimmage, he's going to see that every time. You must get your hands off of him and just try and use your body to block, or else you're going to call for a hold every time.
All right, we've got people, I can give a shout out to Australia and to the Netherlands that are both watching from overseas as Bullard is there to make the play. And the Seawolves have struggled on third down. 0 for 4.
And it's going to be an even tougher third down because they're third at about 17. So not a lot of success in third downs. They have to get ahead of the chains.
Got a big play they get to here. Third and long. Carbone feels the pressure, escapes, and throws it over to his own bench. So nice job by the Air Force defense. R.J. Jackson bringing the heat.
And Jonathan Haynes, the left tackle, that pressure gave up the inside. I think, you have to think about the offensive blocking scheme. The running back was also blocking to the left, looking for the linebacker pressure. And when running back went outside, the defensive end curved to the inside, and Jonathan Haynes was not ready for that. And that's what allowed that pressure and that incompletion to happen.
So we had a viewer from Slovenia. I mean, I'm hoping we're going to check off a lot of places across the globe because having an Air Force game, you have more opportunities for international audience. And let's check in with Danny.
Hey guys, yeah, exactly. Keep those comments coming. I'm checking them. Remember, right now, the topic of discussion that I want to know, do you think that these academic student athletes, these academy student athletes should be able to go straight to their professional sport and then do their active duty, or active duty at least for 2 years and then apply to do that? So keep that conversation going. You can see behind me all the cadets. Their life on campus is completely different than anything you and I can think of. So let's check out a day in the life of someone here at the Air Force Academy.
You go out to formation. March to lunch, where lunch starts at 12:05. You probably eat for 15-20 minutes. Go back to your room, change, go down to football, or go down to your sport. Usually by 1 o'clock, I'm down there doing film, treatment, whatever needs to be done. Around 2:30, start meetings. Go till 3:30. Go in the weight room at 3:35. Out of the weight room at around 4:10, on the field at 4:20, and then practice till 6 o'clock. get dinner, and then about 3 hours to knock out the homework. Try to get in bed by 10 o'clock, but usually most people probably get into bed at like midnight.
That is a real busy day.
That is a very full day.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. I mean, I don't know if you guys can see me glistening right now. It's because I'm sweating just listening to all that they have to do in a single day. I can't believe it. I mean, just as a student athlete, Max, you probably know it too. Just as a student athlete, you're busy enough, but to hear what they have to go through, like I said, I'm sweating. I don't know how they do it.
And in the age of social media, I didn't see any social media timeouts, no status update
Right?
time, which usually takes a couple minutes. That's not factored into the equation. So these student athletes have a different type of schedule, even for a Division I athlete at one of the Power 5 schools. This is very regimented. You're talking about being up for PT formation, and you're marching all the way until your assigned dining hall times. And then you're going at it all day, so very efficient with their time.
Well, then on top of that, Max, I've been told that only once you reach a certain grade level, I believe it's a junior, that's when you're allowed to have a TV. So, you may go wind down after practice and think you're going to go watch TV. They can't even do that.
Yeah, because you got those 2.5 hours to finish all your homework.
Exactly. Is that what you were doing? You were doing all your homework after practice?
Oh, of course.
Of course you were.
Donald Cleveland, big play. Well, listen, give yourself, both of you, two credit. You were both student athletes. Danny had to go through it. You had to go through it. You guys had to budget your time. But when you see what they have to go through, I'm sure it makes you feel like it wasn't too much to ask.
Yeah, I did have a couple of scheduled TV times that I could watch. We didn't have cell phones and social media.
Right.
I didn't have to contend with that. I just had to contend with a regular cell phone that just dialed phone numbers.
Good looking play on first down for Parker Wilson.
Came up limping a little bit. He's going to go off the field. Yeah, that left leg is hurt right now. Strong to sit there and limp off the field, not to miss any, not to take any time off the clock. Hate to see that for this young man.
17-0 our score. So glad you're with us. Wolf, Max starts upstairs. Downstairs. Us on our toes with all the social media questions from our viewers out on Facebook. TJ Morrison makes that tackle.
He's brought down by TJ Morrison. Enough yardage for Airforce. Has been sent to the sideline for illegal equipment. First down.
First down for the Falcons. Worthman. All that ball handling there, I find it fascinating to watch all the decisions that are made by Worthman during one single play.
He has a lot of decision making to do because you think you have the dive as your first option, so you want to see how loose or how tight those linebackers are playing. Are they going to bite in it, pull out of the belly, then come out or reverse out and make the decision where the pitch point is if the linebacker or the defensive end is going to engage him or not.
Worthman. And he decides to make a pretty smart decision there. Gets the first down and then make sure he doesn't take a hit. Because, for a guy his size, 5'11", 210, carrying it almost 22 times per game, 12 games, you got to protect the body.
Got to protect the body, the rib pads. He's getting used to them. You can see he's rubbing on the sides. But that's the other thing, the advantage is that when you're running triple option and it is a play action, you still have a lead blocker up the middle. So if it looks clear, you can run behind that guy.
Worthman, the toss. Running play there as they got out to the edge. Nolan Erickson, the ball carrier.
Gavin
Heslop there to force him to the sideline.
Peeking to the triple option. You fake the belly. Look at the pull. Everybody that's seeing it at this moment, you think the fullback has the ball, and then he pulls it out. You have to have strong forehand grip strength to pull that ball out because that fullback's acting as though he's taking the ball every time on that belly.
Cole Fagan, the ball carrier, and he's got some NFL pedigree in him.
I'd say so. His father, Kevin Fagan, if you're a 49ers fan, you'll remember him. Menacing defensive lineman, won 2 Super Bowls with the Niners. And he defeated my father's Bengals team. So, you know, you pay attention to those teams.
You don't forget that, do you?
No, you don't.
3rd and short. And the pile gets pushed, and now it's pretty close. It looked like it wasn't going to be a first down. But then Fagan and that offensive line, and I think he may have gotten it. Hey, he gets it. It's going to be first down Air Force.
And kudos to the big beefies, especially on that right side, to get the second effort. We're going to watch right here. I mean, look at this squad. It looks like it's dead, but the motoring feet, when you look at the center, Cole Vikabitz, he keeps driving his legs, and Fagan doesn't stop driving his legs, and that's the difference between getting that first down. Tough when I say beefy, because the offensive linemen for Air Force are sub 300, but because they have so much rigor, as you saw with that schedule, a lot of cardiovascular. They're tough, strong dudes.
Offside. Number 99, defense with contact. 5-yard penalty, still first down.
At this time, we have a weather timeout. There is a lightning strike.
8 miles of the stadium. Teams will report to the locker room.
All right, so there's lightning in the area, so the teams are going to go to their respective locker rooms. I know you're looking, thinking, boy, it looks pretty sunny and nice, but we can look out here and
that's to the north of us.
The north, look a little more ominous. And we were playing the Eisenhower Golf Course yesterday. They warned us, you hear the call, it's time to go.
And not now, but right now.
Yeah.
And as you see the teams exiting the field, this is something you don't play with. And in my experience, I grew up in Florida, so a lot of rain, especially in the fall time, hurricane season. As soon as you're out there on the field, as soon as you hear any of those reports or anything, get out of there. I remember one time we were kind of lazy getting off the field, and I was running towards like a tree type of enclosure area, and that tree got struck. So,
wow.
Yeah, you don't play. And that was within like a 5 minutes of us getting the warning that there was lightning in the area. So you take it very seriously, especially when you have those 2 big metal goalposts.
Yeah, even Danny's going to have to clear the field. They want to make sure everyone is safe. And so, again, this is Facebook. We're not going anywhere. So if you've got questions for Max, you got questions for me, just no questions for Danny at the moment. We've got questions for us up in the booth. Unfortunately, we're safe and sound in our position as we have a lightning delay. And having covered the Mountain West now for 10 years, this is not my first lightning delay. I had 2 in 1 game up at Wyoming in a season opener one year.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I had big plans to make it back home that night. Not so much.
No, that's when you call the airport like, listen, can I fly standby tomorrow morning?
Yeah. That going to work out? I remember during one of the lightning delays, I was on the phone with my airline trying to figure it out. We're actually taking a look at the Doppler radar. What do you see there? Can you do the weather from that?
Yeah, from the Doppler radar, looking here, it looks like it's coming from south, and it's moving northeast. And, yeah, so you can see the little lightning strikes in there. Got a heavy system. And that lightning strike was pretty close. It was right past Cascade, Chipeta Park area, Colorado.
Would you ever consider a career in,
No, I watch a lot of Al Roker.
Okay.
Today Show. When I wake up in the morning, it's kind of pre-programmed when my TV turns on.
Yeah.
Turns on to Today. So got a lot of Al, and his
picked up with
attention
some
to detail.
Yeah.
And
I really saw something there from you.
Yeah, when you're a broadcaster, you just have to be a broadcaster. You can't pigeonhole yourself.
Right.
Got to have flexibility.
Not just football. Ready for anything. They had 2 lightning delays last year, Air Force. Home against San Diego State, on the road at New Mexico.
Okay. Well,
we got a game in a few weeks down in Boca, so we might have to be concerned about some other forms of weather down there.
Yeah, exactly. Tropical storms and whatnot. Going to the beautiful FAU campus, Florida Atlantic, defending Conference USA champs. That'll be fun in a couple of weeks. But as you take a look there, that's where the lightning originated from, and that's not far from our location here. Great camera angle, high angle. And yeah, in the Rocky region, I think one of our Facebookers said, "Hey, you don't play with lightning in the Rockies." And I'm from the South, and we don't play in the South either.
I'm not sure anybody goofs around with lightning, right?
No, you don't. Especially, like you said, on Eisenhower Golf Course. You're swinging big metal sticks in the air and trying to finish with your club in the air. You don't want to give the lightning any point of contact.
No, not so much. But it was a real special privilege to get out there. It's a golf course that I've wanted to play since the first time I came out to Air Force. Heard wonderful things about it. It was a really nice course. And, you know, I liked everything about the way they did things. Everything was efficient. Everything was clean. Everything was well run. And they didn't really come after you. Like, wanted to have a Gatorade, $2 on the course.
Oh,
I was like,
you're talking about Augusta prices there.
I thought that was pretty cool. I mean, yeah, we all had sandwiches. They were like $7 each.
Okay. Lightning was in the Black Forest area of the campus. I was obviously looking at a wider angle, but my location was correct. Coming from the south and moving in a northeast direction.
You were perfect as far as I was concerned.
Yeah. So, but you know, here's my, because I heard it's very tough to get onto that golf course, and if they ever open it up, it's PGA worthy. What were your thoughts?
Yeah, PGA worthy course. It was legit. It was really long. We didn't play it from the tips, but from the tips it was about 7,500 yards. So it was legit. Had a great time. For me, it was pretty good. I shot 92 after starting slow.
Nice.
I was okay with that. And a guy who covers a lot of Mountain West football, I was out with former quarterback Sid Bonner. He shot 83. It was fun to watch.
Oh, wow.
Balling.
Yeah, that's awesome. That type of rated course. That is PGA worthy. Those greens were pretty fast.
Oh, the greens were extraordinary. In fact, the first couple of greens, I thought this is going to be a long day because I tripled number 2 as I 4-putted.
Oh, okay. There we go.
I was like, okay, this is legit.
Yeah. Gotta get those tiger reads.
So what do you think if you're Stony Brook, how do you handle the situation? Do you think that they had prepared for this potential situation?
Well, if I'm Stony Brook, I mean, this could come at a better time. You're trying to find a rhythm for your offense. Air Force comes out. They had a rhythm offensively, defensively. Only real snafu they had was just that muff punt on special teams. So if there's one area where Air Force needs to pick up, is special teams. But that's only been the bright spot for Stony Brook transversely. Stony Brook's had great special teams play when they have gotten a return. They returned it. Leah team returns it out to the 30. Washington gets the ball inside the 20-yard line on his punt return. That was at midfield. But the offense hasn't generated. They haven't found that rhythm. Air Force has been stacking the box and playing that run first and been very stingy at the line of scrimmage and not giving them a lot of holes. And Joey Carbone's had the shots to take on his receivers, but the line pressure off the edges from the left and right tackles, Haynes and Infantino, have to get stronger if you want to stay balanced as they plan on doing. So if I am Stony Brook right now, I'm coming back out of this locker room and I'm getting a mental focus like, hey, we need to reestablish this line of scrimmage offensively. I need it forward 3 yards. I don't need a stalemate, and I don't need it back in the backfield. You guys need to get together, stay on those double team blocks. Backside tackles have to make sure that they secure what we call the outside hand, so that if your running back is going to cut it back looking for a hole, that the guy's not escaping over the top. What we mean by over the top is that left hand breaks down. If it's a left tackle trying to secure the edge, don't break it down and allow that defender to scrape and close the hole.
On Facebook, we've got a comment from Mitzi. Thank you for covering this game. It's the first time in 4 years that I've missed Parents Week. Glad that you're able to join us and be a part of this. Now, Brennan out on Facebook, he thinks that it's because Air Force is scared of Stony Brook, so they're doing a bunch of playing stuff to make it look like lightning so they can get off the field. What do you think about that?
Well, I mean, let's face it, they're up 17-0. I think whatever fear they had, I think was answered with Kyle Johnson with that interception return for a touchdown.
And I don't think the Air Force guys fear much. I don't think you join the Air Force if you don't get scared easy.
And also, think about this. A lot of these kids that are playing football want to be pilots. I was reading a lot of the bios last night. They want to be pilots, so they're going to be used to having to fly through inclement weather in the future. So I don't think that the lightning was done by that. It would be creative, but no, this team isn't scared of much.
And Patrick out there wants to get a closer look at an Air Force helmet during the delay. And because all the helmets are in the locker room, I don't know if we're going to be able to facilitate that request. But doesn't mean, Patrick, when they come back out, we can't get you a better look at the helmets and take a look at that spooky logo on the helmet. Fans are still having a great time. There was another lightning strike, so they reset the clock to 30 minutes, and now we're counting down. Facebook feed will keep going. We're going to step aside so that all of our people on our crew remain safe during this lightning delay. Clock will continue to run, and we'll be back in about 25 minutes, and hopefully we'll be getting set to return to football. Stay with us. Welcome back, everyone. We're alongside two-time Super Bowl champion Max Starks, and it's kind of restarting. We've already been with you. 17-0 our score, Air Force on top of Stoney Brook. And what have you seen from Air Force that you've liked in the first half?
Well, I think one of the biggest things is establishing the run game early. The offensive line has created a new line of scrimmage, meaning they've been pushing the defense of Stoney Brook forward at least 3 yards and allowing for those running lanes. You saw Saucier had some great big runs. Worthman, off of some play action, has created a lot of runs right up the middle. And so this offense is clicking, it's chewing up yardage, and their defense, very stifling right now, stopping a very potent Stoney Brook offense. They're not getting the yards that they normally get, and the holes are not there where they usually are. And so this is a tough thing. So it's been all Air Force, really, since this contest started.
Really impressed with Air Force's ability to stop the run because it's made Stoney Brook completely one-dimensional.
It has, and even when Stoney Brook's had those passing opportunities and the receivers have been open, they can't get the ball. Early on, it was Carbone kind of getting used to the fact that he's playing at elevation and having to take a little less off the ball, and then you saw the one he had to Ellick across the middle. He had to kind of loft it there like, okay, I'm just going to take some mustard off of it so it can get to the receiver, but no yards after the catch when you have to do that. So Stoney Brook, hopefully, with this new warm-up they're going to do, can get into more of a rhythm and establish that timing that's necessary because if they want to get back in this contest, they're going to have to get some big chunk yards through the air.
All right, let's go to the scoring plays and take a look at what you might have missed if you weren't with us from the outset of today's show. And it was an early, quick start for the Falcons.
It definitely was. We were talking about Joseph Saucier right here, gets to the outside edge, big gainer, gets taken down right at the 10-yard line, and then Arian Worthman on the keeper just makes a great play. Hole was wide open, great blocking by the offensive line, and then Joey Carbone trying to throw. Kyle Johnson backs up into the soft zone and returns it for the second score of the game for Air Force, taking them up 14-zip.
And they would add a 48-yard field goal, and that gets us to where we are right now, 17-0. The weather delay is going to end up being about 45 minutes total. And then how do you restart if you're the players, right? I mean, that's got to be tough.
It's tough. I dealt with this, funny enough, my senior year. We were playing University of Miami up in Gainesville, and we had 2 lightning delays that took an hour. So we came back on the field and had to warm up again. And, you know, you've already sweated. So, you know, when you come out for a game initially, your uniform's dry, you're feeling good, the only sweat from a little bit of warm-up. But you've played like about a quarter and a half, and you stop for a rain delay, and that soggy uniform is there. You're, like, trying to switch out your pants and then come back and restart it. So it's a mental adjustment that you have to do to get ready for this. So, but this was a great opportunity, I think, for Stoney Brook because they weren't playing well, so hopefully this resets them offensively.
All right, let's find out. Danny, what have you been doing during the rain delay? We want to know what's been going on. Where'd you hide out?
I hid out in the tunnel. I was away from the rain, got to talk to a few people in there, catch up with some old Stoney Brook folks that are around the area that I know that luckily got to come in here for the game. But I did get to talk to some people at Air Force as well, trying to find out what they were doing in the locker room during this time to do exactly like what you guys were talking about, stay warm. And they were doing everything from crunches, I've heard, to jumping jacks, to, you know, having some of the medical staff roll out any sort of tightness that any of them have, and then also obviously discussing game plan and how they're going to come out here and finish this thing off. But yeah, I've heard there was a lot of different ways to try and stay warm in there before they even came out here for this official warm-up. Also, I mean, for the fans in the stadium, you know, it was a long break. It's about time to go get something to eat or something like that. They also ran out of hot dogs at the concession stand, so out of luck for that.
42 minutes so far. People have been waiting for the football to return. Yeah, what are you supposed to do with yourself during all that?
Exactly. Well, I mean, I looked out there. Well, we have a little bit of rain right now, but
It's raining right now. I can feel it.
Yeah, people were filing out of this stadium when they made the decree to go and, hey, you need to get to your car. Well, people were like, well, I got dropped off, and a lot of people left. So this rain is still going, and you know, as a fan, I saw a lot of people out here. Got a chance to really raid the concession stands.
Well, the cool thing about here being at Airforce is that these cadets, they have no choice. They're required to be at this game, so you know for sure you're going to have at least 4,000 fans in the stadium.
That's an excellent point. I've been here during some blowouts when towards the end of the game, you can count on one fan section is going to be there each and every time.
Absolutely. You know they're going to be there. It doesn't matter, rain or shine. They've got no choice but to sit there. But I'm sure they want to be there, right? It's the first game of the season. Who doesn't want to get a little wet and watch some football?
Yeah, I mean, it's a holiday weekend. Where else would you rather be if you're a cadet?
Exactly. Nobody
here
wants
supporting the Falcons.
And it's family weekend, so, you know, you got family on base, and, you know, you get to hang out with them afterwards. But come watch, support your Falcons. And right now, it's very easy to support them. They're up 17-0 on Stoney Brook. So, great contest, and it will get underway very soon.
And if you remember, before we had this weather delay, we were talking about some things on Facebook. I was looking at your comments during that break, so we're going to come back to that. But if you want to keep that conversation going, I actually was down here talking to a bunch of people that have been through weather delays at Airforce before. They said that the last time that this happened, it was a 2.5-hour delay. So, good thing so far. It's looking good, guys. Let's not have me jinx it. But anybody else that maybe was at that game, let me hear about it in the comment section, okay?
Yeah, 2.5 hours would stretch people's ability to be patient if they want to see some football. As you can see, the teams are really just moments away from returning to the field. And I mean, I think the first 5 minutes, I'd be curious to see which team reacts better, because we know Airforce is accustomed to going through this drill.
They are. It's going to be interesting to see how Stoney Brook is going to react to this. Like you said, when you're in the Mountain West or you're in the SEC, you're used to some rain and lightning delays, but not so much in the Northeast where Stoney Brook comes from. So it'll be interesting, like you said, for them to really make sure they match the energy of Airforce coming out of this break.
So the teams have assembled on their respective sidelines, and looks like we're about ready to play some football.
Looks
which
good.
Is great news.
Going over schematics, and you know, it'll be interesting to see how you know, because Parker Wilson also was a big part of that Airforce offense early, limped off the field with an injury. I wonder what his status is, because when we last saw him, it wasn't too good. So, but you know, I think they still have a great crew of running backs out there for Airforce, and especially as long as you got Aaron Worthman at quarterback, this team is always going to be cooking in the right direction.
All right. We're going to play some football again.
That's right. Back at the action.
There we go. 1st and 5 at the Stoney Brook 22. Airforce leads 17-0. 45-minute total delay. Lightning in the area. And that's Cole Fagan,
the ball carrier.
Couple of yards on first down, bring up 2nd and 3. Kamara and Scarborough in on the stop for the Seawolves. Well, Michael, out watching on Facebook, he says, let's watch the cheerleaders during a halftime. Cheerleaders had to get safe too, Michael.
Yeah, there's nobody allowed on the field.
Tossed it to the outside, and a big hit right before the first down.
Garrett Amy, the ball carrier.
Garrett Amy, the ball carrier. Noah McGinty, one of the captains on the defense, in there for the stop.
2nd down.
And, yeah, outside toss to the left. Great lead blocker, but McGinty just with the scrape over the top, unevaded by a second-level defender. Usually you want to get a guard up there to block that block that linebacker for your running back, and Noah McGinty ran free.
All right, 3rd and short. And it's Cole Fagan in for 6. Touchdown, Air Force.
And just like that, another score for Air Force. 3rd and short. And Cole Fagan takes it the distance.
16 yards on the play.
And this offensive line, great job from the right side. Scott Haddock, the right tackle, just caves down the entire defense. Cole Fagan slips past Noah McGinty, who made the previous play, and they're looking stunned. And with that, extra point is good. Air Force is up 24-0 on the Stony Brook Seawolves.
I like you just giving the score. Like, you just take over. I'm having a little bit of a headset issue.
No, that's what a good team is for. Look at this again. The hole was great. Haddock just seals that entire right side, and there is nothing but green grass in that blue end zone that says Falcons for Cole Fagan to run to. So what a tremendous job. This offensive line, if you're Troy Calhoun, you are ecstatic. These guys have done a great job thus far in this contest. We're only a little over a quarter and a half in. You come off of a 45-minute delay, and you get this type of result in 3 plays.
I mean, I really feel like for Stony Brook, I mean, it's already tough to come out here. You got to play against Air Force, against a triple option at high altitude. You throw in a 45-minute lightning delay, and so surprised that maybe they're not going to be fully engaged at the moment they restart the game. Let's check in with Danny.
I'm getting a lot of comments on Facebook asking if there's actually going to be a full halftime, and I just want to let you guys know there is going to be a full halftime. That weather delay did not impact halftime at all. Another interesting story I want to talk to you about, we talk a lot about how these Service Academy cadet athletes have really been putting their services on the line for their country. That's what they want to do. But recently, one of those guys took the word courage even further. Bradley Kim, a defensive back, earlier this month or earlier in August, came out to his teammates telling them all that he was in fact gay. He came out officially on social media, and he said that he was hoping that his coming out would help others express who they really are, and he hopes to set an example for those who are afraid to be accepted for who they are. And you know what? When he told his teammates this, he was welcomed with full support in the form of a standing ovation, guys.
Pretty cool.
That's pretty awesome. You know, in today's climate, to be able to have the strength and the will to do that in a sport that's normally very walled off from that is amazing. So I commend that young man for coming out, and then of course his service to his country on top of that.
All right, Air Force. Leotine on the return. While Leotine has not been able to do much in the running game, he's been pretty solid in the kick return game.
Solid kick return. I mean, second kick he's actually been able to return.
Yes.
And looks like it's more favorable from the Falcon side of the end zone. First one was out to the 30, this one out to the 25, so good starting position for Stony Brook.
Well, let's see if the break helps Joe Carbone, as he did not put up the kind of numbers that people expect from him. Just 3 for 9, 14 yards, and he threw a pick 6.
Rough start.
And Leotine, no place to go.
Leotine, the ball carrier.
Coppola came in there, number 22, from his safety spot.
And I've got to give big kudos to Jordan Jackson, who's been absolutely a force at the point of contact when the ball's been run to the left side. He has really stymied the offensive line, especially Jonathan Haynes has had his work cut out for him, and Mason Zimmerman.
2nd and 10. They pitch it out. And Leotine breaks one tackle, and he'll be stood up at the 29-yard line.
Donald Leotine, the ball carrier for the Seawolves.
Yeah, a couple more yards. And when you're thinking about how can I create pressure at the line, try the backside cutoff, and the backside cutoff is good. You even see a little extra from Anthony Catapano trying to set the edge to give Leotine an inside edge when running to the left.
Down he goes. R.J. Jackson, his second big play defensively as Air Force defense. The fourth time they forced a 3-and-out on 7 total drives.
And the sack just comes off of a twist move between Zimmerman and Haynes. Zimmerman gets his shoulders turned, which allows for the penetration, and taking full advantage of that was R.J. Jackson, who loops back on the inside and makes a big play on Carbone.
Mark Nolan, the kick. Not a very good kick. So excellent field position coming up for Air Force.
First down, Air Force.
They lead 24-0, the season opener for both these teams. So how many years after your career ended would this time of year come around and you'd be like comfortable that you weren't playing?
This is year number 2 of comfort. My first 2 years, I still had that itch.
Yeah.
And I wanted to get out there, and I was calling high school football games and watching the NFL games and talking to my buddies in training camp. And, you really missed that initially coming out. And now I'm at the point where, you know what? I feel my knees. I just rub my knees.
And you remind yourself, I don't
thank
need
you.
this. Yeah.
Thank you for still being there for me, because I'm not going to put you through that stress anymore.
And really, you had nothing else to prove, big fella. You did it all. You had a great college career. You go to the Steelers, win a couple Super Bowls. Take care of the body.
I know, and at this point I have 2 young kids, so the fact that I can get around, run around with them, and tend to all the stuff that they need done, I'm feeling good that I'm not limping around, not achy. I'm still highly active, still work out 3 to 4 times a week to keep the body in good condition. I'm not going to say great condition.
I would assume you must fly private, right, so you can have, plenty of room?
Oh, man, American does a great job with their double exit rows on the Airbus 321. So if you can get in the front, row 11,
that's your spot.
Is usually where I'm aiming for, so I get the leg room. But if not, I'm in the back of the plane at that second one past that mid-cabin bathroom, the one that kind of reminds you of the Southwest extra seat that has the exit row with the leg room. So those are my 2 favorite spots.
Okay.
Flying private with my 144.
I can tell you give this a lot of thought.
A lot of thought. When you're a big guy, you have to be aware of what equipment you're flying on and the best seating arrangement for long flights.
So how big were you at your biggest?
At my biggest, 6'8".
I knew how tall you were. I just want to know 3 and what.
Well, now that number changed. Where was the 3 placed? Is the question. No, I mean the height of it. I got up to 405 after neck surgery.
Okay.
Just because I was scared to do anything and I thought my neck was going to fall apart. And obviously I went back to playing professional football after having a cervical fusion in my neck. But yeah, I didn't want to do anything, and I still thought I could eat and that calories would burn off with inactivity. Wrong.
Arion Worthman keeps the football.
Arion Worthman, the numbers
Second
are
down,
starting
7
to increase. 7 carries, 41 yards, and a touchdown.
New formation for Coach Calhoun. He's running out of the shotgun with 2 backs. Early on he was under center with kind of a flex bone with the 2 wing backs off the ball, but now you're seeing the shotgun broken eye formation.
Just a couple yards there on second down, bring up third, and a little less than 5 yards to go.
He's brought down by John Haggard.
John Haggard with the tackle.
But the biggest thing is they're making positive play yards. There's not a lot of negative plays, so they're staying on schedule. You're working in third to medium, so it's easier to get these third downs and keep drives alive.
They just go with the dive play. Not be enough for a first down. They're in plus territory. You think any chance they go for it here on 4th down?
I think that spot, you're about a yard and a half from that first down marker. I wouldn't see why you wouldn't. You've had success getting a couple of yards, and they need less than 2. So it doesn't surprise me that they're going for it.
Last year they were really good on 4th down, 16 for 25. And the fullback there, Cole Fagan, with enough for a Air Force first down. Contressa with the tackle for the Seawolves.
And no surprise there. They've had success all day today, especially running up the middle. Cole Fagan's done a great job his last couple of carries. You think he's carried the ball the last 3 times. One of them was a touchdown, and he's got at least 3 yards or better on those carries.
Like Patrick White out on Facebook, he was telling Air Force to go for it. He knew what he was doing. He's the amateur offensive coordinator. Ball is up in the air, and Ronald Cleveland was looking for the tackle. He was looking actually for the flag there and didn't get it.
Yeah. So let's see how, because Jefferson was kind of falling down on the play, and you see the ball set up there. A little contact beforehand, and then Jefferson falls down, enough to divert Cleveland from putting 2 hands on that football. Questionable. Oh. And ended up calling the penalty. I didn't see a flag on the field.
I did not either.
They threw it late.
Air Force now with 13 first downs. Stony Brook with just 1.
That's a tough stat. It's tough to overcome that.
Someone's commenting in Spanish. I'm going to need an interpreter. I'm not going to be able to handle that. Can you handle it, Max?
I'm sorry. Yeah.
I'm looking with the carry.
Yeah. Nope. Not even going to attempt that.
All right, Marco, if you want to try that again, or, I'm going to have to get some kind of translating feature.
Delay again. There was a lightning strike within 8 miles.
All right, we've got
Teams
another
must
lightning
report back
delay.
to their locker rooms.
So we got a minimum of 30 minutes without football. I got a feeling this time they're going to incorporate this as halftime, because there's only 2 minutes to go in the half. I got a feeling they come out, they play the 2 minutes, and they just start the 3rd quarter.
That would make a lot of sense.
All right. Now let's go to the Doppler radar and Max Starks.
Yeah, looking on the Doppler here, we have that same cell that was coming from southwest going in a northeastern direction, and it's still coming over that Green Mountain Falls, Cascade, Japita Park area, and you can see the lightning strike. That was a nice cell. You saw red, orange, and some green, and it's coming right at the academy, so very smart. You had 3 strikes up there, and then a little bit lower in closer to downtown Colorado Springs, you had 2 strikes. So
you know what I think might be nice is that you could get on Facebook and find Al Roker and just say, hey, thank you, because you prepared me for this moment when I had to be the Doppler radar guy.
Hashtag thanks, Al. Yeah, I think that should be my hashtag for the rest of the day. I've done 2 updates. I feel comfortable.
Yeah, I felt like you really that time you owned the weather.
Yeah, and that's what you say. You know, the next thing is it's like, hey, that's what's happening here. Here's what's happening in your neighborhood. And just toss it to the local weather guy wherever
you are.
Is.
Yeah, that's a nice touch.
Yeah. But
all
since
right.
we're on Facebook, it doesn't
so
matter.
We're real familiar with the lightning delays since this is our second one. Last one took a grand total of 45 minutes before they returned to action, and we didn't play a heck of a lot of football when we came back before we're now into our second lightning delay. And again, it doesn't look that scary, but the rule is if it's within a 5-mile radius, is that accurate, Al?
Yeah. Anywhere from 5 to 8 is the safe zone where you want to make sure you can get everybody off. You don't want to wait till it's within 3, just because that has a potential to be while everybody's still clearing the area. You don't want to visibly see a lightning strike. The good thing is we have a mountain behind us, so we haven't seen any of the physical lightning strikes yet.
True.
And the storm cell's been coming over us, so we've just seen the gray aftermath or a little bit of rain. So. But, yeah, you don't want to be anywhere near that.
Well, considering all the metal that's around us, if I do see one, I'm in that little white rental car right outside. That's where I'll be. You can come and find me.
I'm going into the bathroom area because it's 4 solid concrete walls, and I know that nothing can hit me. As I've learned, almost like a tornado shelter, just get to the room with less windows and less metal.
Well, that is certainly the case. That is probably the best place to be if you're going to stay in Falcon Stadium. We're going to step aside again. Keep an eye on the clock. We'll have it on the upper right part of your screen, and when we get close to it, there'll probably be another warm-up. and then we'll rejoin you, and hopefully we'll play some football with no more lightning delays. So we'll talk to you in a little bit. Welcome back, everyone. Our welcome back starts up in the booth. And let me tell you, we've had 2 lightning delays. Fortunately, we haven't really seen any lightning right here at Falcon Stadium, but let's get everybody caught up. There's 2 minutes and change left in the second quarter. Here's what they're going to do. They're going to play the 2 minutes. They're going to take a regular media timeout. We'll stay here right here with everybody. Then they're going to start the third quarter. So effectively, the second lightning delay was like a really long halftime. Think of it as a Super Bowl halftime show without the Super Bowl entertainment.
Yeah, without the entertainment. Unless we could actually put a camera to go find the lightning. That would have been the only electrifying, dazzling events during this game.
But I learned a lot about, how to rotate sports for young girls. I mean, you gave me like a co-parenting lesson while we were away, and that's important stuff. I wouldn't have learned that otherwise.
I think it is. It's like it should be in the new parent tutorial, as far as diversity within sports and athletics so your child doesn't burn out.
I like it. So here's a question. With a second weather delay, is this again hurt Stoney Brook because this is just something they're not accustomed to?
I think it does play in Airforce's favor. For Stoney Brook, you're a team that's not really accustomed to it unless you've traveled and played somewhere where the lightning is an issue. But, you haven't really had a lot of things going. So you haven't really established a feel for this game or a momentum either way. But it is tough to start up, get jacked up, then cool off for 45 minutes. Then go in and only play for, we only took, 4 minutes off the clock before another one was delayed again. And then that's 36 minutes. So very hard to get back into this. You hope that they can just turn it on because there's no kickoff. You're going right into where the ball was last downed.
All right, here we go. Playing football. 2 minutes and change to go. 37-minute delays. We've had a total of an hour and 22 minutes of delays due to lightning threats in the area. Fortunately, as far as we can tell, everybody's good. I don't know how many of the fans are going to come back after a second delay, but we know the cadets will be here for their team.
One thing you can count on at a service academy, this is required. So they will be here.
Yeah, they'll be filing back in. We got to find Danny, too. Hopefully Danny's okay. We didn't talk to her during this break.
No.
Third down. Worthman. Plenty of green and Worthman, but he loses the football. Recovered by the Seawolves. All right, now keep in mind there's only 1:25 left in the half, so they're going to have to make quick work if they want to take advantage of this turnover.
Yeah, it is going to be very tough. Let's look at the replay. So Worthman, he had a great seal on the front side, and Worthman is a little loose with the football, and wow. Putting his head on the football was number 9. I think that was Saquon Jefferson coming up, and he's the one that actually did it because Worthman had the ball kind of upright where you can see the stripes and then just tucked it lightly under his arm so the ball was loose.
I love how he was able to disengage from the blocker and get over there to get a hat on the ball. That was a really nice play there by Jefferson.
And looks like, Worthman's on the ground, and looks like there's an apparent injury.
With the coverage for Airforce.
That's Fedulum, the defender. That is
Fedulum. I apologize.
The double numbers with no nameplates. I promise they get you.
It confuses you, especially when,
he was just on the field.
He was just on the field, and it's a number 2. All right,
and I always say to
apologize.
coaches, if you're going to have a double number, make sure the guys don't look similar size.
Yeah.
And, Arian Worthman and Fedulum aren't that different. One's 5'10", the other's 5'11". All right, so here we go. First we'll see offense number 2.
A tale of 2 twos.
All right, so here he is, and he gives it up. And then on the very next play, Jeremy Fedulum also wears number 2.
And it's 2 starters that are sharing numbers.
Oh, welcome to the Mountain West, my friend.
Yep.
This is your new life. Get used to it.
And, Fedulum was going up, and it's like he got undercut by his teammate when he was going to make a play on the ball in the air.
So would they really get you those on special teams? Because then you really don't know who's the guy.
Yeah, because you're looking, you're like, oh. Okay, there's like 7 multiple numbers, and all those backups are playing.
Yeah, you had Colorado State last week. I always thought that they were really guilty of having their best players wear the same number. So, like, your best running back and your best linebacker both wearing number 6.
Yeah, it's like, come on, guys, really?
I take it up with the coaches, and they just kind of laugh it off, and I was dead serious. I was like, come on, just choose a guy who's a completely different size guy. So, like, they're not, you're not going to get confused. Carbone able to make the completion to Nick Anderson. That crossing route's been there, but they haven't got much yardage after the catch today.
No, they haven't. The ball's either been lofted or kind of thrown a little bit behind the receiver, so you don't get the yards after catch that you're normally accustomed to. Plus, you look at Stoney Brook has not had a first down since that first quarter of the game. Well, I say first quarter. We're still in the second quarter, but it was like an hour and a half ago.
That's right.
2 hours ago.
So the clock stopped here with 50 seconds to go in the second quarter. I want to remind everyone that at the end of the second quarter, there will not be a regular halftime due to the 2 lightning delays. They're going to take a regular media timeout. We'll, of course, stay with you because we're on Facebook. And then we come back, we're starting the third quarter, so it will not be a traditional halftime.
Yes. You'll get to hear more of us commentarying.
Stony Brook offense just has been unable to get anything going. Third downs, they're 0 for 7. And Joe Carbone, their quarterback, who's really coming off a brilliant year last year, just 4 for 11, only 18 yards through the air. And the fair catch is made.
Fair catch. First down, Airforce.
So what do you expect from Airforce here? 42 seconds to go in the half. You're up 24-0. Do you just take a knee here, or do you try to get some more points?
I think, you're right there. You're on the 46-yard line. 46-yard line of your own. I think you could take a shot and just see what happens. And then from there, decide, hey, 1.5 time. They're getting the ball coming out of the half. They deferred in the first half. So they're going to get the ball regardless of what happens. So I would expect maybe 1 or 2 plays and then take a knee, let it time out depending on the distance.
Pitch play to Cleveland. And Cleveland didn't go very far there. And depending on when the play clock gets started here, they may not have to run a play. They do not have to run a play, but it appears they will.
I'd like to see a shot downfield.
Instead, you're going to get a fullback dive in midfield.
Belly dive.
Belly dive, and that's going to do it for the first half. So after 30 minutes of football and close to 3 hours of real time.
Airforce has called a timeout.
Oh, my apologies. We've got more.
Yeah.
Still 12 seconds to go in the half. I didn't see that timeout coming based on the way they approached the first 2 plays.
You go two run plays in a row. It's like, oh, third down. Let's call a timeout. Let's burn them.
They had me fooled.
Yeah.
I was getting ready to take everybody to halftime.
Yeah.
A halftime that's not really going to be a halftime. It's going to be a 2-minute break, and then we're going to come right back. Yep. We have more college football coming your way next Saturday. Utah State hosts New Mexico State. You can catch that stadium production exclusively on Facebook at 8 p.m. A couple of my buddies I know are working the Fresno State game tonight. David Carr is going to be the analyst alongside my friend Dan Helly. They're going to have the call for you. Fresno State, boy, coming off a magical year last year.
Yeah, I think Derek might make an appearance.
I heard Derek's going to be in attendance.
Yeah, that'll be pretty
Carr
cool.
Brothers, Fresno State, that'll get butts in the seats, I'll tell you that.
Yes, it will. 2 legendary quarterbacks for that university. And on the corner, great closing speed. That was a good job. That's E.J. Finneran making a play from distance.
I just saw the Ohio State-Oregon State score 77-31. Ohio State. That's too many points.
That is.
Oklahoma takes Florida Atlantic 63-14. When is enough points enough?
It's like basketball scores in these Week 1 games. Except for it's like a college team playing a high school.
But we were taught
team.
that under the new system that strength of schedule was going to be a huge component to it, and it was going to make for sexier non-conference schedules. But I don't think that's played out that way.
Number 99, defense with contact. 5-yard penalty. 4th down.
Number 3 for Jordan Scarborough. You know, I had my offense coordinator, Bruce Arians, tell me, listen, the hardest thing that keeps guys out of the NFL is they can't count to 3. So stay on side for the hard count, especially with defense. See ball, hit ball. You don't move to that ball moves.
Right, just watch the ball. All right, now I'm really confident. No, I'm not. I'm going to stop because they got a first down. So the clock stops here with 4 seconds to go.
4 whole seconds, and they still have a timeout.
And they use the timeout. So, see, I didn't get tricked. I was fooled the first time, not the second time.
That's right. Fool me once.
So you taking a shot at the end zone here?
Listen, I thought they should have taken a shot at the end zone 2 plays ago, and they didn't. They've run it. And it's amazing that with what they have, 24 seconds left initially, they've called 2 timeouts within that span, and they just got a first down. So traditional wisdom says shot at the end zone before the half because you're getting the ball back regardless, and you can throw it up since there's 4 seconds left. But I don't know. I don't know what Coach Calhoun has in mind here. This is a perfect opportunity to throw, but I think the Seawolves are
we're
expecting
kicking a field goal. We're going for a 60-yard field goal attempt here. Felici, remember, at a high altitude here, the ball carries.
Let's go ahead and just fake it just to make this complete.
Come on, from 60. That's not going to do it.
No, that's not going to.
That's not going to happen. Hey, but I like the thought. Give it a chance.
Try
Coach Calhoun, he's a special teams guru. Coaches special teams, even though he's a head coach. That's why they're so good on special teams. So after one half of football, Airforce leads Stony Brook 24-0.
The first time the Falcons have ever defeated.
Hey guys, okay, I just want to tell you about a little tour that I got yesterday when we first got to campus. Cadet Gage Weil took us across campus. Take a look at what we saw, okay? First, when you walk into campus, you're going to see a B-52D bomber, and that was used a lot during the Vietnam War. The massive bomber flew on more than 200 bombing missions, compiling 15,000 flight hours over 26 years before it was mounted on this pedestal in 1983. He then took us to a scenic overlook of the athletic facilities. There are 150 acres of playing and practice fields. All cadets of the Academy are required to participate in the athletic program, which includes physical education courses, physical fitness testing, and competitive sports. The Academy also has 29 different Division I NCAA teams. And then from there, he took us to look at the chapel here, the Cadet Chapel. Guys, it's beautiful. Mid-century modern architecture with inspiration from the Air Force vessels. That was definitely my favorite part of the tour. Then he took us to look at the statues in an area called the Study Hall. Check out this P-51 Mustang Memorial. That was Cadet Weil's favorite. He told me he wants to be a pilot, so this was his favorite one. Guys, it was a pretty cool tour. Got to see a lot of things.
Thank you very much, Danny. And the third quarter is underway, and Saucier will not get a chance to return it. So Air Force with the football, up 24-0. We hope you enjoy the halftime.
Yeah, it's a great show.
Yeah, it's quick.
Yeah, went by, blink of an eye.
Arion Worthman, just 2 for 6 through the air for 29 yards. He has run the football 10 times for 63 yards and a touchdown. I got a feeling we're going to see one of the other quarterbacks at some point in the second half. Just if they're still shutting them out, I figure you get some guys some live reps.
Yeah, get the experience up and also limit the exposure. And there's a flag down on the field.
Garrett Amy
We don't know if that was on the hit below the knees to the quarterback on the pitch or what.
Based on the movement of the Falcons, I think it's against them.
Yeah.
They seem to be trending further and further back.
Yeah.
Personal foul, shot block, number 24 and number 38, offense. Half the distance to the goal, still first down.
Okay. Yeah, Caden Rimsberg. Let's see what we got here. Oh, yeah. 2 guys, one high, one low, and you can't have that. Saucier and Rimsberg.
I do want to go back to the late field goal attempt. It would have, had he made it, officially would have been 61 yards, which would have been a school record. And he had made a 48-yard field goal, so no,
that's big. 48 to 61. It's different if you say 48. He's going for like a 52-yard.
Right. Workman can't find his receiver. By the way, I'm getting very mixed reports on Facebook about the gray uniforms. I like them, but I guess because I've seen the other blue so many times.
Yeah, I think it's a great alternate. Let's look at the just the defensive line's finally starting to push through, and Worthman's not getting a clear line. You see Kamara in there with put a big paw swat in his face, so make it very tough for Worthman to really put the ball on the receivers.
And saying this from a guy who's not exactly vertically gifted, Arian is not a big guy, so when the pressure comes, the sight lines can be tough. Oh, real nice play there, defensively coming up there to stop that play. Another running attempt by Garrett Amy. McGinty up there to make the play.
Great block off the ball by Cole Fagan, and this is one of the things. Get it out there fast. Fagan makes a great block, but McGinty, his lateral quickness from sideline to sideline, is the reason why they haven't really broke a lot of those outside plays today.
Worthman looking downfield, had a receiver open, but the throw was behind Sanders. Heslop in coverage.
And just a great job by the offensive line. There's a lot of pressure coming up the middle, and they solidified and allowed Worthman to deliver a dart. Fortunately, it's just a little bit behind his receiver.
Charlie Scott into punt. Scott did muff one of them and led to 1st and 10 in the red zone for Stoney Brook, but they couldn't convert it into points. Fair catch by Donovan Washington back at his 36-yard line. Coming up later tonight, Fresno State hosts Idaho. Former Fresno State quarterback David Carr will be a part of the broadcast team. You can catch that stadium production exclusively on Facebook at 10 p.m. Eastern Time. A couple of my pals from the NFL Network on the call. I'll be watching. I'll be glued. Just like the game I care a lot about, but I also want to hear those two together because they definitely have a fondness for one another. I think there'll be some good one-liners in that one.
Are you saying there's a bromance going on?
I'd say
in Fresno?
Yeah, a big bromance. Well, a lot of people I've noticed have bromances with David Carr. He's very popular at the network. Very popular.
Easy on the eyes.
Yes, I think that's a fair statement. He made a fast transition from like role player to being one of our main analysts.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's a good guy, too.
That's how you get your viewership up.
Yeah.
You get your viewership up.
Everybody's watching. They got to get their fix.
Yeah.
Even the simple screen game, that could have been backwards. It was live football.
Live football.
And it's going to be Airforce football. Wow. Stony Brook did no sense of urgency when that ball got on the carpet there.
It was very lackadaisical. I'm really surprised at that decision. Like Carbone, throwing a little swing route out to the right, and just nobody realized that's a lateral ball. Let's take another look at it. It's thrown out to the side, going to Gowans. Gowans heads up, but
and
a little off kilter.
Sutton came in there and just took it away from him.
Yeah, stripped. He got both arms around it. Another turnover for Stony Brook.
Second turnover for the Seawolves. On the ground,
Tavon Bordeaux with the ball carrier.
Bordeaux.
Noah McGinty makes the tackle.
First tackle of the game.
And that's 2 turnovers for Carbone.
Yeah.
Who's a guy who doesn't turn the ball over a lot, even though that was a point of emphasis Chuck Prairie talked about ball security.
Worthman thought about the pitch and reads it, keeps it himself, and gets it to the 25-yard line.
Let's put this in a third and short to medium. It's about 3rd down and 3, so good decision. You pitch it out there. You're throwing it about 2 yards behind you and expecting your guy to get up there and get the extra yardage.
that ball's out. And Stony Brook saying they have it.
Finneran, E.J. Finneran, right? Yeah.
Yeah. I'd say this, Coach Calhoun's not going to be happy. I mean, that's multiple turnovers for his offense. Finneran came in there, redshirt sophomore.
Ruling on the field is a fumble recovered by Stony Brook. First down.
We'll see with the sudden change what the Seawolves can do with this ball. And, yeah, just got popped off the side. Couldn't see the number that stripped it. Looked like it was 37. Haggart, D lineman, coming in, putting the paw on the ball and ripping it out.
I'm looking to see some urgency here from the Seawolves. Leontine, the ball carrier.
Leontine, the ball carrier. He's brought down by
3 yards.
And
just really tough sledding right now for the Seawolves, trying to generate something offensively. You know, they've been getting 1, 2 yards, negative yards, turnover.
Second and 9.
You want to see that one explosive play, just something to really give this offense a jolt.
Leontine's trying to get to the outside, and he falls forward. A couple yards shy of the first down. Sutton with the tackle.
Good job on the outside. Leontine reading it, coming to the outside, and really good job catching that corner.
And they pick up a first down, and that's pretty big news.
Pretty big news.
For a first down, he's brought down by Lakota Wills for Airforce.
1 of 8 now on third down. They finally converted.
Yeah, finally converted. Third down. You hope this now leads to something good for them. Maybe they found a crack and they can exploit that.
And they've just doubled their first downs on the day. Carbone, the receiver hasn't turned. Nick Anderson didn't know the ball was in the air.
Carbone's pass.
By the time he turned around, the defender was headed towards the ball. Nice job by Bullard in coverage.
Robert Bullard providing the coverage.
And you have that decent play, and you know Stony Brook really wants to establish a play action run pass off of the run, so you had a good run play, good thought going to play action pass, but there's no rhythm yet with the receivers and the quarterback because they haven't had a lot of completions today.
That's the most accurate thing you'll say all day. 4 completions.
Yeah, there we go. How many attempts?
12.
Okay. Decent batting average.
Yes. Well, actually, you just displayed a capability for math that some analysts always ask ahead of time. They're like, there'll be no math, right?
Yeah. And here's the thing, offensive linemen, we're the
smart.
smart guys.
Yeah.
So, you know, it's going to come natural for us.
I always say, quarterbacks make my job easy, then next to offensive linemen, people are surprised by that.
Yeah, I don't blame him. I mean, I put an offensive line in front of a quarterback any day.
Of course you would. Hey, and a completion and another first down. That's back-to-back first downs, and we're finally seeing a little hop in their step. They're getting up to the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, two of 9 now on conversions. You got a trip set off to the right, throwing to the slot. Washington takes advantage. Carbone puts it on there where we have yards after a catch as well, so he's able to catch and run. And Stony Brook right back on the line. Not trying to waste any time, almost going into a 2-minute offense mode.
7th play of the drive. This is their longest drive of the day. And that thing never really had a chance at the late handoff. Airforce was crowding the line of scrimmage. No place for Jordan Gowans to go as Cody Kessler and company were in on the stop.
And Gessler's he's the powder keg, I guess, in the D-line room. He's Mr. Funny Man. Yeah.
High energy guy.
Because there's a lot of seriousness, which you'd expect from academy school. In most of their rooms, they take it serious, but he's the one that they consider the lighthearted of the crew.
2nd and 11. Carbone, his receiver, looked like he had a different thought on his route.
And that also came up a lot faster than I'm sure Ellick was expecting because pressure was almost immediate. Yeah. Gessler, again, applying the pressure on Carbone, forcing him to throw that ball. And at this elevation, trying to throw one of those touch jump ball 50-50 balls is a lot tougher.
Yep. Carbone, little slings it out there about 3/4. And Ellick, the intended target again. Nothing doing. It's 4th down.
And pressure once again from both sides as Carbone has to really throw it out there. And in fact, it almost looked like a fly swatter to an extent. A lot of pressure coming from between the right guard and tackle and then right up the left guard side. And Carbone is not too excited about this performance so far.
Donald Cleveland is the deep man.
Kyle Johnson was the one bringing the pressure. Mark Nolan on to punt. Good punt this time. Fair catch is made.
Ronald Cleveland with the fair catch.
And let's check in with Dan.
Hey guys, okay, so Stony Brook football obviously not doing what they want on the field right now, but I do want to highlight some players doing some really cool things off the field. You've been hearing Sam Kamara's name this entire day. He and his teammate Elijah Duff both went to the Black Student Athlete Summit in Austin, Texas in January. The summit talks about issues facing black athletes on college campuses, and since the duo came back from that summit, they started the Black Student Athlete Huddle at Stony Brook for their peers. They talk about professional development and then racial issues both in sports and media. So very cool there. And then also, I talked about it a little bit earlier, Stony Brook University has a hospital on campus. It's actually the largest academic medical center in Long Island. And offensive lineman Chris Infantino has actually been a research assistant at the medical center. He's getting his master's, guys, in neuroscience. He's very passionate about concussions and how football affects the brain. So very interesting stuff that these guys are doing off the field. And I also have to add this tidbit in there that Stony Brook actually is where the first MRI was created. So that gives some credibility right there to Stony Brook University Medical Center.
How about that fun fact from Danny?
Look at that. Danny promoting her alumni. Great job. And also, just want to point kudos to the offensive lineman again. You talk about the intelligence. We just had that conversation.
She brings it up.
Boom. Research assistant in neurosurgery. Come on. That's great.
I mean, Danny, it's like you and Max really, you're on the same wavelength right now. I see the connection.
You would think we'd worked together before, right? I don't understand.
Exactly. This is just great professional development right here. Great job,
I love
Danny.
it.
By the way, you never believe, based on the weather right now, as you can see coaches squinting into the bright sunshine, that we would have had 2 lightning delays, totaling an hour and 22 minutes.
That is amazing, and now it's bright and sunny on the field.
And wait another 20 minutes, the weather will change.
Yeah, well, it is. Wait for the fourth quarter. But I don't think we'll see the 4 seasons like you will in the other, the other Mountain West team.
No, I've been there to see at least 3 seasons in one game. I haven't seen 4.
Wow.
But I've been up there where you'll show up and it's 75 and sunny, and you're leaving and it's freezing. Isaiah Sanders in at quarterback. Well, it's the first time I've been right all day. I predicted we would see another quarterback in the second half.
Worthman, I think, has done enough today. So you now have backup quarterback in Isaiah Sanders from right here in Colorado Springs.
Yeah, and he started the season finale last year in a game they won 38-35 against Utah State. 44 carries, 196 yards, and 3 touchdowns. Got a 3.9 GPA in developmental engineering. I mean, that sounds hard. I don't even know.
Sanders keeps the ball.
Me neither,
but
it sounds challenging.
The fact that you put the word engineering at the end of it lets us know that that it is going to be pretty difficult. But here, I mean, I think half the majors here at Air Force Academy involve some form of engineering.
Yeah, and if somebody on Facebook could explain to me what developmental engineering is, feel free to chime in and help out those of us who don't understand. Third and short. They give it to Fagan, and Fagan shows some strength.
Cole Fagan, the ball carrier, and yardage for Air Force.
Another Air Force first down. Their 15th of the day.
It is. I was just reading one of the Facebook comments, and it was talking about Rusty Jewell, talking about the Texans forcing the Steelers to wear black unis in Houston. That was actually my first year starting. I remember that game. David Carr was a quarterback.
All right, so I got a question for the people out
Taking
Facebook.
again the ball
This is
carrier.
particularly for Air Force fans. Who's the greatest Falcons player of all time?
Ooh.
I know
Great
statistically
question.
at quarterback, Bo Morgan, you could make a strong case for him.
2nd and 7.
Who's the greatest Air Force football player of all time? I got to let Facebook respond first.
Yeah.
We got a quick answer from our outstanding statistician. Toss play, nice gain, and then a big hit near the sideline is McGinty.
Nolan Erickson, the ball
Got
carrier.
a hat on the ball carrier. As
Bumped out of bounds by
Erickson
Nolan
got
McGinty.
got the carry and then almost got hurt.
Yeah. And once again, Noah McGinty playing a little bit of a deep
3rd and
linebacker
1 for the
position.
Falcons.
His lateral speed has been great this game because even though, the score obviously doesn't show it, but he's done a lot to minimize the big plays for Air Force on the edge when the quarterback does decide to actually pitch the football. So he's been all over. You'll see the 2 backers lined up front, and then McGinty is that 3rd guy playing about a yard deeper in the defensive backfield.
Well, Donald Leontine, their starting running back, who's been there for 6 years because he had 2 labrum injuries, so he was granted a 6-year eligibility. He says about the 2 linebackers, he thinks they're the 2 best in all of FCS.
And right now, we've seen a lot of McGinty. Haven't seen as much of Lawless because he's playing more of an outside backer role. And in this triple option, it's not really going to feature the outside backer because he's taking on one of the point guys that are blocking. But yeah, I mean, looking at these 2, the fact they have 25 games of experience together, starting together, that automatically puts you in another echelon as far as duos.
Yeah, we haven't called Lawless's name a lot. Last year, 93 tackles. McGinty, last year, second on the team with 95 tackles. There you see Lawless.
He's tripped up by
those 2 linebackers. They are the heart and soul of the Seawolves defense.
And that's where you want the experience to be. They're the quarterbacks of the defense. And in this style of defense that the Seawolves play, which is looking more like a 4-3 right now, bringing their Rover Contressa down in the box, you need that leadership there at that point. Lawless right there in pursuit, flag down on the ground. We'll see what the call is.
I do want to update the best player ever. The late D. Dowles has been getting a lot of love from the Air Force fans watching on Facebook. I thought my old buddy Bo would get, at least somebody would vote for him. I mean, statistically, as good a quarterback as Air Force has ever had.
Thousands.
There is no foul for holding. 3rd down.
Okay, so flag is wiped away. No holding on that play. Chuck Prairie is not excited about that. But, moves the ball forward, and now you're looking at a 3rd and really short, less than 1, I would say, in my estimation from here.
Jason Green on Facebook did go with Bo Morgan, so at least I'm not alone. But again, the late D. Dowles is getting most of the love. In 1989, he was 6th in the Heisman.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, there it is, Michael.
Yeah, Michael threw it out there as well. I like it.
So you just got to prompt these Air Force people, and they just can't wait to get involved. Larry Cole, 13 years with the Cowboys.
Yeah, 2
How
or
about
3
Chad
Super
Hennings?
Rings. Yeah. I don't know who Carlton McDonald is, but he was easily the best Air Force player. See, there we go. Got some thumbs up in the booth up here.
And Chad Hennings getting a lot of love. Outland Trophy winner, 10 years with the Cowboys, 3-time Super Bowl champion.
All right.
He's hit by Casey.
How about this? Dowell's got more Heisman votes than Emmitt Smith in 1989.
Wow. For Air Force.
My Gator Emmitt Smith.
Class act.
I don't know how I feel about that, but that's pretty awesome. I have to go.
We're at Air Force. I go ahead and be cool about it.
No. I mean, as a pure football person to person, but I'm saying for Air Force, I think that kind of cements it for D. Dowles. He got more than Emmitt Smith, who was a tremendous running back at Florida.
But Emmitt went, like 22 in the draft? He wasn't the top 10 guy, right?
No, but running backs very rarely really eclipse that top 10.
Right. Certainly. Well, in his
talent.
right. Which happens occasionally, whether it's an Adrian Peterson, those kind of guys come along.
Barry Sanders.
Yeah.
I guess we have to throw Saquon Barkley.
For sure. I mean, the hype on him is
I watched that kid at the Combine, and I watched him run his 40, and I was like, yeah, I'm taking him number 1 overall.
Well, just physically, he's such a freak.
Yeah.
We're getting more info on Hennings, so statisticians. Are you a historian
Sanders, the ball
of
carrier.
Airforce sports?
Hit first by Shane Wallace of the Seawolves.
Yep, on Facebook. Keep bringing. All right, so I don't really. All right, we could ask just because it's your alma mater. I mean, who do you think is the greatest Gator of all time?
Greatest Gator. That is a very tough one. I mean, you can't argue with the all-time leading rusher in the NFL.
Yep.
And as my
Producer
goes
brought
away,
out James Bates. Come on.
Batesy. Greatest sideline reporter ever.
He's a darn good announcer in any position. He's the only guy I've ever seen who can do all 3 jobs.
Yeah.
And he actually can do them at the same time.
I was about to say.
He's got enough energy for it.
Yes, he does.
Batesy, if wherever you are, we miss you, buddy.
Yeah, we do miss you, James. But, yeah, I mean, looking at that, I mean, you know, you have to throw in collegiately, what they did collegiately. What comes to mind is obviously Spurrier and Warfel and Tebow, just because all 3 of them were Heisman Trophy winners. And after that, I mean, I put Emmitt Smith up there. Jack Youngblood was another one. Trace Armstrong was great when he transferred over from ASU.
How about a little love for Shane Matthews? He kind of brought the program back.
Yeah, Shane was another one. Chris Doring was an elite one. Alex Brown was a 3-time All-American defensive lineman. So, I mean, there's a lot of great ones. We put a lot of guys in the league that were successful in the league for a long time. So that one's a tough question. But, you know, you have to go with the trio of Heisman Trophy winners as your front runners for what they did for their teams when they were at school.
How about the Stoney Brook fans could give us an education, because I frankly wouldn't know who was the best of all time. I wouldn't even know where to begin.
Yeah, me neither.
But so Stoney Brook fans, you're out there watching, you can give us a history lesson on the best Seawolves of all time. All right, well, Danny, you went to school there. Off the top of your head, who are some of the greatest football players to have ever played at Stoney Brook?
Will Tye.
Okay. Oh, wow.
Tight end. He's playing right now. That's my first initial answer. It's the first guy that came to my mind, and why not? He played for the Giants for a little bit. He's on Patriots now. That's the guy that I would say is, at least in recent Stoney Brook history, that I think people would agree with me on that one.
Okay, well, Danny, they're going to get a chance to respond. We'll let you know. And you got your phone down there. You can check it out as well. I know you're knee-deep in your Facebook comment section. A little pitch play here. But guys, we're 15 plays deep in this drive. They've taken 8+ minutes off the clock. These are people who understand there's been 2 lightning delays. And people got things to do.
People have a day. And, you know, I am surprised. I mean, look at the amount of people that have stayed for this contest through 2 lightning delays. Pretty good turnout for them to stay here.
And Mother Nature's cooperated since. I mean, it's gorgeous out right now.
Yeah, this is a great day. I mean, you can go out and golf in this weather.
For sure. Until 20 minutes come by and then the
and
weather
changes.
Delay. You're running for cover.
Yeah, just find a storm shelter. You'll be all right.
1st and 10. I'll tell you this, Sanders is going to get some love from the coach since he's come in. It's just been steady.
Yeah, it's been steady, and they had the one big play by Erickson 2 plays ago, but everything's been on schedule. And what I mean by on schedule, you're getting at least 3 to 3.5 yards per play to keep the chains moving and keep your 3rd downs manageable. And Sanders has done a great job of really managing this game. And I'm pretty sure the offensive linemen are about 50-50 on that, because they'd rather be on the sidelines celebrating a score. Relaxing on the bench. It's supposed to be out there for 15 plays.
Well, if they want to, they could take the rest of the game with them. Be done with it and keep this drive going. But they'll get a couple. I mean, they're going to get to come to the sideline and sit down, but they are going to have to walk all the way to the other end of the field if they elect to not punch it in right here. So yeah, they're going to. Big fellas, no rest.
No rest. But if you notice, they're herding. It's more of a herding, grazing mentality in between quarters. It's not really a true run. It's like, okay, I'm going to walk at a casual pace. Like you're walking through the mall and there's nothing you like, and you're just trying to get through the mall because you parked on the other end. That's kind of the pace they were going at right now.
Okay, well, after 3 quarters, Airforce leads Stoney Brook 24-0.
Welcome back to Falcon Stadium. Airforce is on top of Stoney Brook 24-0. We're going to take a check-in with some of your Facebook comments because you guys have been talking all game long. You know, earlier we talked about should you have to serve active duty before playing. Overwhelmingly said that you should serve first. Yvette Gardner, in fact, said that if you don't like it that way, then you should choose a different university. Well, simple as that. I agree. George Moran says that he hates losing. I'm going to assume that he's a Stoney Brook fan, but at least they're losing to an Air Force. At least they're losing to Air Force, who are a great branch of servicemen. So obviously someone's finding some solace in this scoreboard at the moment. Patrick White says that a good kicker can kick up to a 70-yard field goal in Colorado Springs. I'm wondering if that has anything to do with the elevation in that comment, because Zachary Wilson says pretty much that the elevation is an unfair advantage that Air Force has over Stoney Brook. So with that, I am curious, Max, did you ever play at Denver, and is that something that you ran into? Because I know the past couple years I've worked in the NFL, and that's something that they were saying when they go into Denver, that does play a part into it. Did you notice that at all?
I did a couple times. We actually trained getting ready for Denver games about 2 weeks prior. We'd wear these special masks to kind of limit the airflow just so you could get conditioned mentally, and then you'd run on the field ahead of time with the mask just to make sure your body is ready for the lack of air available.
Oh, that's a nasty face mask right there.
Obvious.
Yeah.
Might have been lawless on that one.
Well, they sort that out. Danny, do you have any road games as a basketball player where you had to play at a high elevation, and did it affect you and your performance on the court?
No high elevation games for me, but
Face
nothing would
mask.
affect my
Number
performance
14.
on the court. Are you kidding? No, I'm kidding.
Defense.
You know, I
distance
can
to the
walk
goal.
out of my car in the
Automatic.
parking lot and
First
sink
down.
it from there, you know?
Wow.
No, I'm kidding.
A lot of confidence.
No, the best school that I ever got to play at, though, was Ohio State. That was one of the probably bigger, cool schools that we got to play.
That's real cool.
But that has nothing to do with elevation, so I didn't really answer your question. But to me, that stood out.
Well, there it is.
Everybody out on Facebook has a good elevation story. Feel free to add it. The one I have is kind of embarrassing. It was my first time doing a game in Laramie. We went out for our production meal on a Friday night, and I had 3 adult beverages, thinking, that was well within my wheelhouse. And I woke up the next morning, and I didn't feel good. I had to get on that treadmill for about 90 minutes to sweat it out because I didn't know that adult beverages had a different effect at elevation. It didn't work out well for me. I learned the hard way.
Yeah, and that's why I try my best to limit it to maybe 1 at the most.
Right.
Because I know how
But I
that
didn't
is
get the
as an
memo. I
athlete.
feel like when you land in a city with high elevation, there should be like a warning at the bar.
Yeah,
that
exactly.
says
3 drink maximum.
Yeah. Well, in my case, 3 was too many for me, but.
Yeah. You got to space it out, though.
Yeah.
You can't power hour it.
I was with a lot of people who lived in high elevation, so it wasn't affecting them. Sanders going to try to punch it in on the QB sneak if they let. I haven't heard a whistle, then he's in.
Yeah, he's in.
He's in.
Second
There's a flag
effort.
down. Flag came in real late.
Sanders, the ball carrier, but another penalty flag on the play.
The ruling on the field is a touchdown. Personal foul, face mask, number 35. Defense. That 15-yard penalty will be assessed on the succeeding kickoff.
This goes against Shane Lawless. Take another look at the touchdown. The big boys up front, they just kept pushing and kept pushing.
And a great job of firing out by this offensive line. And you see the legs still churning. Isaiah's time. The good thing is when you're a quarterback running over your line that's going to flat back and play low and fire out, your knee never touches the ground. So you can keep churning, and where they were located, great second effort by Sanders to get that ball in the end zone. And that was a very long drive.
Offside. Number 6, defense. That penalty is declined. Try is good.
I like that Fonda Davies says, show the face mask penalty before this last one. Lawless earning his name. Well done. Well
done.
That was well played.
That is.
Let's go back down to Danny.
Well, guys, Air Force, a lot to celebrate right now. And I know we've talked a lot about what they've done as a student here and what they go through, but that all comes down to when they graduate. And it's one big celebration. And actually, we were lucky enough to get a sneak peek into what graduation looks like from Air Force. So take a look at that.
Class of 2018,
Well, you could see, the push-ups are adding up. Now you're up to 31 points.
And I can see a couple of them, as we call it, half-stroking the push-ups. A little short-arming going on, but I don't blame them. If I had to get out there and do the actual point total of push-ups, I probably would have ended after the first score. Been like, I had to take a knee after that.
I grew up in Big Ten country where we were in Madison, Wisconsin, and really just Bucky Badger, the mascot, is the one doing the push-ups. So you can't really see what kind of person's inside there, Badgers roll up a lot of points on people.
Yeah.
And I remember being like, Bucky's got to be in real good shape. You're in that big mascot costume and pumping out the push-ups.
Yeah, very lean. Very lean individual under that uniform. But, amazing job. They're out there doing the push-ups. And I was watching that Air Force graduation video. How cool that you get a flyover at graduation. You're standing on the field, and that's just a special one. I was excited watching that video.
And you really felt like they earned the right to celebrate the amount of work they put in and what they're about to start to do after graduation. And they should get a standing ovation from the whole country, which everybody can't be here for, but it's well deserved.
Stadium's not big enough. They could stream it.
They could?
Stream
I wouldn't be surprised. I bet they do stream it.
Yeah.
That wouldn't surprise me at all.
They do.
Yeah.
Our statsatorian, I'm going to call him stat/historian over here, has been amazing. He confirmed it, so it is live streamed.
Yeah, I figured you got to have, friends who are all stationed all over the globe.
Yeah.
You want to, see who were underclassmen to them go through the same graduation process.
Yeah, and the flyover's done by the Thunderbirds, by the way. That's pretty
cool.
Awesome.
So the Seawolves back out there. We're getting our first look at Cameron Pickett, the Buffalo transfer, first year with the team. And the quarterback, Carbone, really excited to see him play.
2nd and 9.
Getting our first look at Pickett there. You see him right there. 5'10", 205-pound sophomore from Atlanta, Georgia.
I'm very excited to have him in that mix for the running back room because Coach Prairie feels he adds a different element of explosiveness to this offense.
Pickett again with the football for the Seawolves.
And Pickett now with a little nice 4-yard gain right up the gut.
Makes the tackle.
3rd and 5 coming up. I mean, that's.
And they were much better on 3rd down on their last drive. So let's see if they can keep it going. They had 2 3rd down conversions on their last drive. 2 for 10 in the game. Carbone, and right through the hands of Marshall Ellick, who really hasn't had a chance to shine yet today.
No, Ellick has not, and there's also potential for, I think, is that Water? Nope.
Ronald Cleveland is the return man for Airforce.
Sorry, that I was trying to see because Ellick was this explosive guy that we wanted to see, heard a lot about him, and Coach was very excited about him. And also, not the tight ends. I know that Stony Brook's really good on, wanting their tight ends and getting them involved in the game, but the game has just not transpired that way to where they can get out into routes. Last play they were max protecting on the line of scrimmage, so you haven't seen a lot from this really cool crew of tight ends.
There's the elevation helping out a little bit. Strong punt.
Cleveland with a fair catch.
Made.
First down, Falcon.
Cleveland. Well, we've been talking about Stony Brook, and who's the greatest athlete, perhaps, to have ever played at Stony Brook? Oh, here we go.
There it is.
There's Danny. I mean, yucking it up for the camera, too. And she graduated.
There we go.
Doing it both, Getting it done in the classroom and the homecoming queen.
Danny, where is the tiara right now?
Yeah, come on, Danny.
Oh my gosh,
I know you know where it's at.
Where did you guys get those photos? No, actually, that tiara is proudly on my dresser in my apartment, obviously.
Of course it is.
If you ask my mom, I was born a princess, so now why not make it a queen, right?
Made it official.
Oh my gosh, yeah, no, played 4 years of basketball there. I was a two-time captain, got 2 degrees. You saw me, I graduated. Woo, I made it. I got a journalism degree and a business degree. It was really fun going to Stony Brook. I'm a proud alum. I've been able to go back and cover men's and women's basketball games for them, but never a football game. So today's kind of special for me.
That's awesome.
Oh, that is awesome.
I can't believe you guys have those pictures.
actually, Max had him in his pocket. He carried him around, and they just brought him over to the truck, and they just, bam, they were up on the screen.
We're such
Max,
best
now
friends.
I'm a little creeped out.
Yeah.
Well, we're best friends now. You know,
She's
we're
creeped out.
besties.
That was awesome.
So we're good.
So
It's totally normal.
Besties.
Oh my goodness. So you guys should address me from now on. We're going down to the sidelines to Queen, Danny, right?
Yeah, Queen would be right. And yeah, you're getting some love on Facebook. Brian Keller says that you look like a queen.
Oh,
Yeah.
So you've got that going for you. I'm sure Brian's a close friend of yours.
Yeah.
It has to be. You
Has
know
to
what,
be.
Dad? Quit going on there on another name.
Oh, George said he saw the crowning.
Oh,
He
you
was
did.
there
You were there.
live. Yeah.
It was
he
actually funny. I was in the stands, and my mom and my boyfriend at the time looked at me and said, "You know what? Just don't come back to the stands if you don't win."
Yeah.
So it was like one of those things, like, it can't come back. So I got to get this crown, right?
Yeah, exactly.
And there it is.
Competitive family.
We're looking at the picture. The king looks a little like, he's just,
Yeah.
I'm not
It's
sure
actually
he's
funny.
owning the moment quite the way you were owning the moment in the picture.
Yeah.
Or he's looking off to some friend in the distance.
Yeah,
No, he was cool. He was the conductor of the band,
Oh,
guys.
wow.
The band is a
Okay.
big deal at Stony Brook. I
Okay.
love the band, and he was the conductor. So
Pretty cool.
That was my king, and that's the president of Stony Brook right there, President Stanley.
Wow. I've learned a lot about Stony Brook this
Yeah,
week.
more than I ever thought I'd learn.
That's probably
no, 'cause
why they put me on this game, guys.
No, well, not well, because when I was doing basketball in Albany, New York, we played in a conference where there were like 5 or 6 schools in Long Island. So we took these long bus trips out there for basketball games. So I know where Southampton is, CW Post, all these schools, all the places I'd never ever been. And I got to know them well. Let me tell you, being on the bus in the dead of winter in Long Island for a 4-hour bus ride to Albany, you know that you're committed to a career.
There we go.
They were long, long days and nights. No private charters, no flights. Get on the bus.
There we go. And now look at you.
Yeah, hanging out with you, a 2-time Super Bowl champ, and I got the queen down on the field.
Yeah, we got the queen here. Yeah, it's awesome.
We got a whole world out on Facebook. We're fully global. That was the thing I first noticed doing basketball last year, was just the international aspect. That's the thing that really wowed me, was that people could watch all, and you can watch whenever you want. It's almost like everybody has a DVR, because you could start this game from scratch at any time you want.
Yeah, and that's the amazing thing. For as much technological advancement, the ability to connect the world together is one of those things that's always awe-inspiring at moments.
Some people really do want the Falcons to go back to wearing blue, and I get it if you're used to being blue.
Yeah.
But maybe it's because it's week 1. Maybe they'd prefer they had 3 or 4 games in the blue, and then you go to the gray.
Yeah, you don't just catch them off guard like this with this new retro uniform.
Saucier brought down, yes, alternate uniform.
Alternate, not retro. Alternate, sorry.
Were you at Florida? Did you have an alternate uniform?
We had alternate combinations. We could go all white, all blue, blue jersey with orange pants, white with orange, white with the blue. That was about it. I mean, we only had
never
2
full
jersey
orange?
colors. No, never full orange. Never full. You never go full orange.
The NFL likes on the Thursday nights, they like to go one color only.
I know, and some of them look great, and the other ones look
Not
like
so
a
much.
train wreck.
Yes.
Remember that Tampa Bay Rams game on Thursday night where it was mustard and ketchup? It looked like it was disturbing.
It was a bad McDonald's ad.
It was a horrible. It was like but
he's brought down by Parker Noren.
Yeah, but I will say this: the Steelers, their Thursday night unis, all black with the gold stripe and gold numbers. That's pretty cool looking uniform.
Okay. Well, let's take a look at some of the stuff the pregame stuff. Great traditions here, including the flyover. All the guys parachuting down. I couldn't believe how well they landed those things. So here's the flyover. We're going to have to find out from Danny what traditions they have at Stony Brook football games, because these ones are going to be hard to top. Yeah, try to do that at a Stony Brook game.
Yeah, exactly.
Stony Brook fans, you've got to tell us, what are your traditions?
Yeah, we want to hear about them because, obviously we have all Airforce right now, and they're pretty awesome. Yeah, I mean, how often can you say, yeah, AC-130 gunship was our flyover, and we had 6 paratroopers land on the field with precision. We got to entertained by the actual mascot Falcons during the rain delay. So yeah, a lot of tradition.
The bird was entertaining people during the lightning delay? Is that true?
I guess so.
Wow. I mean, that's just showing a fearlessness. I mean, just get out there.
Yeah. I mean, the Falcon, I mean, he's not running for rain coming when he sees lightning. He doesn't know the difference.
I agree. The real bird is.
The real bird.
I thought the mascot might. It's time to go.
Yeah. The mascot, but not the real bird.
Sanders will sneak. He doesn't get there. Second effort, maybe he does get there. See the touchdown by Isaiah Sanders.
Well, Edmund says he doesn't really have an elevation story, but he does say that he's seen many teams come here and fall prey to the elevation.
Yep, got a new.
Tykel Fields.
Yeah, has now come in for Joe Carbone.
Didn't play much at all last year. Ran the ball 6 times. Only threw it once. So we got 10-14 to go in this one. It's all Air Force, 31-0. We'll pick up 3 yards on first down.
Jordan Gowans carries the football for the Seawolves.
But, you know, for a program like the Seawolves, you want to come out here, obviously, and go for the upset and get the attention of all of America. But if that doesn't happen, everything is still in front of them. Everything, all of their goals are still there. This game doesn't affect their ability to make it to the FCS playoffs and go on a deep run.
Yeah, it does not. This doesn't have any effect on their seeding, you know, because like I said, last year they were 10-3, so they still have the opportunity to meet, if not exceed, that record. And it's the first game, so you get to work out the kinks in non-divisional play,
and pick up
play.
a pretty good paycheck. I mean, that's the way these games work. You know,
yes, they do.
Yeah, I mean, you know, the big FBS programs need teams to play. You know, there was a thing in the USA Today this week about the total payout from just this weekend alone, and a staggering amount of money is exchanging hands.
Yeah, and that goes to help necessary programs like you're talking about with the Stoney Brook and all the programs that they have.
Yeah, Western Kentucky played at Wisconsin on Friday night, and they left with over $1 million to just come and play one game. That really helps your whole athletic department.
Yeah, and you can spread that amongst all your sports. You know, because your revenue generating sports is usually, you know, football is usually number 1, maybe basketball might be number 2.
Depending on the place.
Yeah, depending on the place. But then after that, you know, you need to be able to fund the rest of your other Division I sports.
Well, as a school like Florida, you know, the amount of money that SEC football brings in, you could support athletic programs in your community, not just at your school.
The entire state can be funded off of one of our 3 universities.
Fields trying to get to the edge. Can't do it.
Fields the ball carrier. Brought down
Coppola able to come up from that safety spot. Now he wears 22 because that's the difference in age between he and his older brother Kyle. And we talked about it just momentarily earlier in the game, but Kyle suffered a very serious head injury on a motorcycle. And when Garrett got hurt, Garrett then left the team to support Kyle and really help Kyle along during the toughest part of his recovery from that injury. While there's a lot of tragedy in the story, there's also a lot about the strength of family and supporting one another.
It's a tremendous story. If you guys get a chance to look it up, you know, he had to go through a whole process to remove himself for a semester from school, and pretty much took his brother to everything, all of his PT appointments and doctor's appointments, until he came back the following semester. So,
and fortunately, Kyle's doing much better. A lot of the things that he lost because after he had the head injury, had a stroke while he was in the hospital, and that had some devastating consequences, but, you know, has really come back around, and what a special moment for Garrett to be back out on the field with his teammates and getting set for what he hopes is a great senior campaign.
Yeah, no, tremendous. And we didn't get to find out. I wondered if the family made the trip for this. I know they came up for spring game, and his brother was in attendance. So, yeah, very much big kudos to Garrett, and he's been playing excellent this entire contest.
Big play there from Isaiah Sanders.
continuing where Arian Worthman left off with, the belly option and the quarterback keeping it up the middle. And this is something that's been very tough. Stony Brook has not figured out a way to really stop that, because the second you commit to the outside edge of the triple option and trying to protect the corners, that's when you leave the middle vulnerable, because like you said, Noah McGinty's been that middle backer and he's been on the sidelines making big plays for them. Well, the problem is if he goes with the motion, you leave the open unguarded.
I do want to point out, just because I haven't been mentioning it, Airforce now 307 rush yards today. This is a program that has one of the elite running games in America. Last year they were 4th in rushing offense in America. They have 16 rushing titles in the previous 19 Mountain West seasons. This is the 20th season of Mountain West football. It's just a spectacular running game, but I think sometimes, kind of like we have, you kind of take it for granted because that's just what they do. Now, on the flip side of it, they've only thrown for 29 yards, but they really haven't needed to throw the ball.
No,
but balance is not something in their offense.
No, and I think that's the biggest thing for teams is how do you defend to force them into a passing situation. It doesn't happen often because they're so relentless and so committed to the run, and you have so many different runners. Even your wide receivers are taking runs as well and making rushing attempts. And quick note for our Facebook people, some people are saying they're seeing the score as 31-8. That's a slash through the zero, a proper zero, so that is a zero.
All right, Danny's got a special interview for us. Take it away.
I did. You guys are wondering if Garrett's parents made the trip, and I've got his mom, Andrea, here with me. What was it like knowing all that your family has been through, that you were able to come here and be able to attend Parents' Day with your son?
There are no words for how blessed we are and for all the support that the Air Force family provided us. Crazy. Just little acts of kindness that add up, hundreds of acts of kindness that added up to so much, that supported us and got us through this journey and to this point.
He wears number 22 because of the 22-month gap between him and his brother. Can you talk to me a little bit about the relationship between the two of them?
Very competitive, but it's gotten better. They've grown up, right? But it started off extremely competitive.
And now is it a little bit more sincere, do you feel, like now that all this has happened? And I hate to say that someone should get injured, but it did kind of seem like when he broke his collarbone, it was almost the perfect timing and kind of the answer on if he should go home or not.
It was a clear answer at that point. Before then, he was just in angst. What should I do? How do I support my family from afar? But he had his family here supporting him, his football family, and the rest of the Air Force family. So he had that support that we needed him to have at the time, too.
And finally, how is Kyle? What's his status right now?
He has to relearn his language. He lost his language. So he's resilient, he's tough. All those competitive years paid off because he's fighting.
He's resilient and tough. Garrett's resilient and tough. And as a mom, as parents of that whole situation, you guys are just as resilient. Thank you so much for joining me. I really appreciate it.
Thank you for your time. Appreciate it.
All right, that's good stuff. Thank you very much for that interview, Danny. And Donald Hammond III is now in the game, a sophomore, and a lot of people think that he could be a future starter. They love his physicality, 6'10", 210 pounds. Some people say he plays quarterback like a linebacker.
Oh, with that frame,
yeah.
I would have to assume so. That's pretty lofty. So we're seeing a lot of different players getting some meaningful playing experience in this game.
And they continue to just try to take time off the clock and churn out first downs. Air Force with 21 first downs in the game to just 3 for Stony Brook. That gives you kind of a clear-cut view of the dominance in this game.
And in fact, you got a new running back in there, Ronnie Beard. His last 2 rush attempts up the middle. So Air Force deploying a lot of different personnel now late in this football game to get some guys some meaningful experience, because it will matter when it comes down to conference play.
Well, they get into Mountain West play, they'll be grateful that these guys have gotten some live action. And no place to go there on 3rd and short. I don't see them kicking a field goal here. I'm guessing they're going to go for it here on 4th down.
Yeah, I think that is a safe assumption. And yeah, wow. I mean, these guys have just chewed up.
I mean, yeah, the time of possession is insane. It's 35 minutes and 34 seconds to 16 minutes and 53 seconds. You don't see teams more than double the other team's time of possession very often.
that doesn't happen too often.
So they will go for it here on 4th and short. And Hammond's going to keep it and get the first down. And once they get the first down marker in place, the clock will resume. 5:26. Once that ball is set, they'll resume, and the clock churning away.
And I had another flub up. Christian Mallard is number 25. Not Ronnie Beard. That's where the O&Ds come in.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, it happens. So I do apologize to the Mallard family for not getting that right.
Offense and defense, duplicate numbers, they get you. That's a good hard run there, all the way down to the 5-yard line.
Christian Mallard, the ball carrier.
It's Mallard making the play.
See, I made the correction in time. So
well done, my man.
Yeah, made it. This week one for commentators too. Just how you have delay of games and false starts in the first game. Name mix-up happens every once in a while.
Well, because after week one, there's film on everybody. Yeah. You can watch everybody.
Yes, there's stats also.
Yeah.
So you know which 25 actually rushed.
Right, because if you're watching game film from late last year, the guy who wore 25 might not be on the team anymore.
No.
It's a whole different guy, so it doesn't really help you.
Hammond, the ball carrier, he's wrestled down.
Elijah Duff came in there to make the tackle on Hammond.
And a lot of pursuit late. And I think, if you're Stony Brook now, you're also testing the mental fortitude of your team to handle, this loss. Are you going to continue to play or are you going to fold? And I think that's what Truck Priory is paying attention to, that in this adverse situation, who's going to continue to play hard. And, you're evaluating your backup talent now as well that's out there on the field for them. So I want to see who these guys are playing hard. Deshaun Tucker, one of the backups at that middle backer position, coming up on that last play.
Big hard hit, and that came right at the 5-yard line, so it's going to bring up another 4th down situation.
Yeah, Elijah Duff in on that tackle. Good wrap tackle right at the legs.
The ball carrier for Airforce. He's stopped by Elijah Duff. Brings up a 4th down.
All right, so the Air Force record book, watch. Fewest yards allowed, 66 yards versus San Diego in 1956. And the total yards in the game is 51.
Wow.
Could be having a new record. I'm not sure if Stony Brook's got a 15-yard play left in him. We'll have to wait and see. Depends. Air Force, if they get a first down here, Stony Brook might not touch the ball again. But it's going to be a touchdown. The first of his career for Donald Hammond.
And what a tremendous play. He goes out for the option, decides to keep it, tucks it, sees a lane, and pushes through for the 6-yard touchdown score, and putting Air Force now up 37-0 with the extra point coming shortly.
Extra point is on the way, and it is good. It is 38-0, and we've been talking upstairs about the uniform and the helmet. Let's hear from Danny. Give us your perspective.
Hey guys, sorry about that. I thought we were just shooting a helmet, and here I am. Okay, so I want to tell you about this. These helmets pay homage to the AC-130 aircraft. Now, they've had these uniforms, these special series uniforms, since 2016, and so far they are 5-0 in these uniforms. So I'm curious, do you think that having these specialty uniforms, you can kind of see, I'm hoping they're cutting to some shots
they are.
of some helmets here. Do you think that alternate series uniforms are just for recruiting, or do you think that this is something that's special and cool? I know I heard you guys talking about it a little bit, but I haven't heard anybody mention the recruiting process, because I know at other schools that's a big deal.
All right, I think it's part of the recruiting process, and it's also part of merchandising. I mean, the fans want to have, if you're a devoted fan, you got to have every jersey option they got, right?
Yeah, you want to have the limited edition, special editions of anything. I mean, just think about any consumer. If you're a fan of anything, you want to see the limited edition, the special limited releases. So, I mean, look at people that want shoes. You know, it's the same shoe, and they change the color scheme, and everybody wants them and is fighting for them. But I think here, the significance is, especially when you're talking about Service Academy and an alternate uniform, you know, it goes beyond, it goes for a greater purpose, because I'm looking at that. I didn't get a chance to really see the helmet up close until now, and that's pretty awesome.
Cool.
That's pretty awesome to have that graphic of the actual gunship in action painted on one side of the helmet, and then on the sleeve you actually have, you know, the gunship patch on there. So pretty awesome.
It's very cool. And, you know, I did mention a second ago that they are 5-0. I don't know if it's part of that look good, feel good, play good scenario, because it looks like they're about to go 6-0 in these specialty uniforms.
And I also think it has a small thing to do with scheduling. I think you decide to wear the uniforms on the days that you choose, and depending on your opponent.
They wore them at a bowl game.
Oh,
okay. Well, that throws that.
There you
Throws
go.
that theory out.
Majority still.
Yeah.
There could be a slight possibility for majority, but.
I just want everyone to know the cadet push-up count is at 131.
Can you do 131 push-ups?
Not consecutively, but over the
No.
course of 3
Start 'em
hours,
now.
I could.
Start them now, finish in a couple weeks.
Yes.
Lifetime.
Lifetime Achievement Award, 131 push-ups.
Yeah. 13 days. Because I could do 10 a day, and then just go for extra credit on one extra one.
They're going to bring it out. Nick Het, wide receiver, getting his first chance in the return game. All right, well, if Air Force wants to set this new record for fewest yards allowed, we know the number. So, you think they can do it?
Maybe. I mean, you think that means that Stony Brook has to get a first down here to even have a shot.
That's right.
At keeping that, and we got 2:34 left on the clock. So if Air Force gets the ball back, I doubt Stony Brook would see it for another series after this one.
This is it.
Yeah, this is
they
their
have
last
51
opportunity.
yards right now. Call that 3 yards right there. So Air Force, they're not in a real hurry here, Stony Brook. Air Force could set that record. Then the record with 66 yards? Okay.
Still close. Still close.
This is why you got to stay into Facebook till the very last moment of every game, because you never know what might happen.
Significant things can happen.
And Stadium College Football, we just put that question out there. I mean, 131 push-ups. So Sean Kane says he can maybe do it.
Okay. And he did give the emoji with the thinking, a little white glove on the chin.
Patrick White said his max is 160 push-ups. That's solid.
Wow. Okay. All right. Was that consecutive?
Patrick, were those in a row or?
Yeah. Did you lose a bet?
Fields, that's as good a throw as we've seen all day from Stony Brook.
Man.
So that's like 13 yards now. So now we're getting close. I think they're just 2 yards away.
His pass is complete to Nick Anderson. First down, Stony Brook.
Every time I hear that young man's name, I'm from Orlando, so when I hear Nick Anderson, I think of the Magic.
Yes, you do.
So I keep having to do a double
You don't think
take.
about those free throws, do you?
I try my best not to.
Sorry.
From the finals.
I was paying a lot of attention back then in my NBA. So.
Yeah, I was thinking more of like, you know, the threes that him and Dennis Scott used to hit in games to get them to the finals. Finals, I think I slept through that.
All right, so it's right at 66 yards right now. Oh, nope, 67. They got a yard on the last play. So right now, Air Force needs to push them back. They need a loss on a play, or there will be no fewest yards allowed record set today, and that's a decent-looking run. So may not be a record set today, but I'll tell you this, they'll take a shutout anytime.
They will take a shutout, especially the way to start the season. Family weekend out here.
And then remember, a defense that struggled And that's being kind last year.
He didn't generate any pressure with the amount of blitzing, and
Yeah.
they played solid without having to utilize a whole bunch of intricate blitzing schemes. So that bodes well going into conference play when a team hasn't needed to utilize that.
I mean, the running game has been very insignificant. And this game is over. Week 1, my friend. Done.
In the books.
38-0 win for Airforce. They're 1-0. Stony Brook falls to 0-1.
And what a great opening weekend for Airforce. Obviously, the crowd was a lot larger when we started this contest, but 2 lightning delays will do that. But a lot of fans stayed around for this game through completion. And for Stony Brook, yeah, you took one under the chin, but I think it's kind of a wake-up call before you get into your FCS play. And like you said, not a lot of tears because you did walk out of here with a nice payday heading back home to New York.
There's so much tradition here following the game. You'll see all the cadets go stand up, and then all the football team will head over to them. And this is another one of the very important traditions at Airforce. You'll see this at basketball games. You'll see it at every home football game. And they'll get together. I don't know who cues them here to get this thing started. The third verse. Look, everybody should get some credit who stayed through 2 lightning delays to be here at the end of this game. That shows some. That's a strong fan.
Yeah, that is loyalty and allegiance.
That's the third verse. All right, so we've learned that the Airforce defense seems to be improved. Again, it's always hard to judge when FBS plays FCS, but for Airforce, we're going to learn in a hurry what this team is made of. Mountain West schedule not that far off. They're projected 5th in the Mountain Division, but under Troy Calhoun, they've rarely had back-to-back years without a great deal of success, and they have a senior quarterback, so I'm very curious to see where they end up, because I got a feeling they're going to finish higher than people projected them.
Yeah, I feel as well. I mean, you looked at the preseason rankings, they had them 3rd in the service academies, but I think after watching this performance today, how dominant they were offensively with all of their weapons, and the defense played great at the line of scrimmage without having to utilize a lot of blitzing. I have to think that they can do a lot better than where they were projected. So hopefully they fly under the radar and they're able to surprise some people, because they had a great complete game from all 3 phases. Outside of the 2 fumbles, one by Worthman and the other one by the punter with a muff punt. But I think that bodes well when you're talking about starting the season, got some good film to watch, and really work off of this victory.
Now, just getting started. Let's go down to Danny, who's with Coach Calhoun.
Coach, congratulations. It's always good to start the season 1-0, and you guys have won the last 13 of your 15 season openers, and you shut them out to keep them to under 100 yards of offense. So what do you think of your performance today?
Well, that was encouraging. I think especially some of the short fields that were involved with our defense to be able to do that. We're going to have to play better moving forward. I think you look, thought we were sloppy and not nearly as consistent as we need to be on offense, and even to a degree on special teams too. But I mean, again, you go back to Thought we played the run really, really well, which was encouraging. I thought we played physical on the defensive side, but we got to get better as we move forward.
I did want to talk to you about the offense, specifically that offensive line, because you wanted to see them in game action. What do you think of them today?
Yeah, it was good for them to play, a bunch of those guys. It was the first time really they've been involved on a game day, and so we're going to learn from this film. We're going to keep, like I said, we're going to make strides. We're going to make incremental, good, steady progress and improvement.
How hard is it to keep a team disciplined when you have not one but two weather delays?
You know, truthfully, it could happen again, maybe more than once or twice, and that's the reality of football, but we know why. It's for safety purposes, and we certainly respect that.
Coach, go enjoy this one.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Danny, and thank you to Coach Calhoun for sharing a few words with us. What did you learn today, Max?
Well, I learned a lot about this triple option and how effective it can be when things are kicking on all cylinders. So I think, you know, Coach Calhoun's always going to be tougher on the assessment than us as fans or viewers, but I thought it was a great performance in all three phases.
Solid win for Air Force. They win 38-0. They get the shutout, and we saw some great images here and a great way to kick off the Mountain West schedule. And we're going to have lots of games for you here. Stadium Live on Facebook presenting Mountain West football on behalf of our entire crew, Max Stars, Danny Kluppinger. I am Ari Wolf saying so long from Colorado Springs, Colorado. Air Force gets the win. We'll talk to you down the road. Take care, everybody.